What's good? What's good? What's good, fam? Thank you guys for tuning in to the Voice of the Fans podcast. Voice of the Fans podcast today. This is week 200, or excuse me, week 320. Man, thank you guys for tuning in. Cleveland, give Cleveland a round of applause for being here. What's the weather in the Northwest today, Cleveland?
Oh man, it's about 50-ish. Kind of sunny. I was pleasantly surprised because they have been expecting the rain to come down. Hasn't come down so far. So yeah,
No rain, no ice, no snow.
no,
Middle of December. Woo.
none of those things.
Look at you guys. It's just riding a wave down here in Bama. Monday it was 69 degrees. Today it's 40 degrees. So it's a volatile weather out here right now. But thank you guys wherever you guys are tuning in from. We appreciate you guys for tuning in. Give yourselves a round of applause. This is December 11th. Cleveland, we got one more show before the end of the year, so we're gonna have a holiday special, man. Because we got Christmas in a couple weeks. A week after that is New Year, so we got one more show before you give the fans some content before the new year begins. It is December 11th, 2024. Again, week 320 of the Voice of the Fans podcast. Today, we're going to talk about the NFL. We're going to recap our picks from last week, preview our picks for the following week, and talk about the games, obviously. We're going to talk about the NBA. We made our predictions for the NBA in-season tournament that Cleveland's over there drooling about. How's the tournament going? You enjoying the tournament so far?
Man, it's been great. Anticipation and not sure what's going to happen. Love it.
Yeah. OKC, check that box. Do they look like world beaters? Well, we're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that to the NBA. We're gonna have the NBA conversation. College football playoffs has been announced, so we'll look at the top 12 of what the playoff teams have been entered, and hear Cleveland complain about Alabama not getting in there because I know he likes the blue bloods and know he likes to keep things the same. So we're gonna get his feedback on the college football playoffs. Cleveland, did you enjoy the Navarrete fight versus Oscar Valdez?
Cam, I'm not even gonna lie to you. I did not watch that fight. So I can't really commentate on how it went down, but love to hear your rendition of how it went.
Well, the fans already knew they already knew you're.
No, I watched the big fights. The Bivol Bitter BF. I watched that. You didn't even watch that fight, did you, Cam?
I was a little preoccupied that day.
Okay.
Fans, again, thank you guys for tuning in to the Voice of the Fans podcast. What we do on the show is a little different than most. We play our numbers game at the beginning of the show. Then we have our This Week in History segment. And then we want you to stick around and we give you a good quote to encourage you guys to give you some motivation, inspiration to finish the week off strong. Cleveland, when you think of with it being December 11th, week 320, we look at the number 11 and the number 20, Cleveland. When you think of the number 11, who wore or wears that jersey number the best? Or who comes to your mind first?
Cam, for me, who wore that number the best and who comes to mind first is Isaiah Thomas, Detroit Piston.
Detroit Piston, huh? Two-time champion, not Mr. Podcast Parsons. I thought you was gonna go there. With all your comparisons to Lawrence Taylor that you're buying into and all that.
I did not say that not one time, but okay.
When you think of the number 20, Cleveland, a few ways you can go with the number. Who comes to your mind first, or who wore that jersey number the best? I'll tell you. Let me go first, man. The very first poster I had, and I was able to watch Chicago. The Chicago channel was. I don't know how we got. That was part of cable in Seattle. Was growing up. Chicago was a premium channel in Chicago or in Seattle. Growing up. So I got all the Bears games, and the Bears frequently played the Detroit Lions. And then I got a glimpse of this guy named Billy Sims, and oh my goodness, that was the very first poster I had on my wall. It was a Billy Sims poster. I thought Billy Sims was bad. I thought Billy Sims was a great running back. Obviously, running backs in the NFL don't really last that long. The typical running backs. But he has some highlights, man, that were just out of this world. So I would say Billy Sims. And who would you pick outside of Barry Sanders?
Who comes to mind first would be Gary Payton, the glove here in the 206.
Fair enough. That's fair enough. He was outstanding as well. I had plenty late nights in Virginia, staying up to watch those Sonics play on the West Coast, East Coast time. Having to stay up and watch those games was pretty crazy. So before we get to the rest of the show, man, I want to kick off the show like we do most weeks. Here we go.
Am I speaking to right now?
Cameron.
My name's
Cameron.
Cam Buford.
Hey, it's Peter Rosenberg. I'm hanging on my man Cameron Buford.
You got some good questions today.
I'm a Dolphin fan.
There's always room for improvement.
I'm more a fan of boxing. Boxing is my main sport.
All we want to see every year are the best two mothers getting in the ring and getting on.
I got some of this for you.
Goodness. For me?
Yeah, just for you.
Think about it like this: the promoter pays the fighter, the fighter pays the manager.
Okay.
So the manager works for the fighter, and the fighter works for the promoter.
Okay. So you are lifting weights currently?
When he said it's easier to score in the NBA versus Europe, did you agree with them?
To me, it's easy to score all over the world.
Can I finish right now? Do you want me to speak or do you want to conduct the interview and answer for me? Which one?
What do you think about these
Okay. Like I was saying before.
Aaron, what has the game of baseball taught you?
One of the biggest things is being humble.
Can you give a message to the kids to kind of persevere through the false teachings they may be giving?
Patience.
Okay.
Patience.
As the show voice of the fan,
Oh my goodness!
continues to
I'm in
evolve.
tears.
Come on, you were adding some spice to it.
It is strictly banter back and forth between myself and Cameron Buford.
I enjoy all of it.
The real ones know what's going on, right?
Never mind.
Go watch the tape. Go watch the tape, and then you tell me if it was all about just a system.
You look like a buffoon.
Go do your research. Go do your study.
I'm not caught up to you guys yet. I do
I'm real surprised at that, Cam.
Hey, come here. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
Oh, this guy.
That's what's good in sports, man. It's Big Snoop Dogg, man.
That's what's good in sport.
Thank you for making our voice your choice.
If you haven't told your girlfriend about the show, tell her about the show. If you haven't told your boyfriend about the show, tell him about the show. If you haven't told your cousin, your uncle, your grandfather about the show, let everybody know about the Voice of the Fans podcast.
Hey, man, thanks for making our voice your choice. You know how we do.
Hey, my guy Snoop got a new album coming out. I don't know if you heard. Him and Dr. Dre, Mary Jane, Thank You. Him and Dre got a new album coming out at the end of this week, in fact. So you guys got to go check that out to see what Snoop talking about. See if this will get him into the top 40.
Yeah, on your list. Yeah, I mean, it's a very stringent, level of, rapmanship to get in on your list. So
I can't hear you, man. I don't know where you went.
No, I was just saying that on your list, I mean, he's not even in the top 40, so.
Hear me? No technical difficulty there.
I got you now. Can you hear me?
I cannot hear you. No, I can't. What you do to your sound, man? Hold on. Let's see. You there, Cleveland?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Man, I can't hear you, bro. I'm gonna try this again. I might need you to log in. I can't hear you, bro. I still can't hear you. Try to log off and come back in. I can't hear you. Anyway, fans, we apologize for the technical difficulties. I don't know what happened there. Just playing a little video there, and then all of a sudden we lose contact. But we'll have him back in no time, fans. What was your biggest game of the weekend, fans? But we're gonna go through them all. But what was your most impressive win or your most impressive loss? Hit us up in the chat or hit us up at Twitter _. You there?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
I cannot hear you, my man. I cannot hear you. I cannot hear you. Let me go out and I'll come back in. Yo, I apologize. I still can't hear you though. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you now. I don't know what you're doing over. Why are you pushing buttons and stuff?
No buttons, but hey, man, I'm here.
Why are you pushing buttons over there, man? You messing up our sync. So I was just asking the fans about their most impressive wins over the weekend, Cleveland. Were you you want to give Harbaugh some credit, or are the Chiefs still getting lucky? How you want to go? How you want to look at this game? Because let me back up. I'm sorry, fans. Got thrown off. Bill Belichick going to the University of North Carolina. Are you surprised by this move? I am blown away because my guy Bill,
100% surprised. He feels like he's found the fountain of youth and wants to go and try and start from the soil. I guess it's weird. Yeah, he has a temperament and personality to really deal with college kids. Kind of weird that he's even trying to do so.
Well,
especially 72 years old.
I mean, he's just going to be coaching football. He's just going to be coaching football. Everybody else, he's going to have somebody else, like your guy Harbaugh had somebody.
Football, when players are professionals and getting paid, it's something entirely different than coaching some 18, 19-year-old kids, man.
This is where I disagree. Similar to Deion Sanders. People know who he is, right or wrong.
Deion Sanders is 20 years younger than him.
Listen, you're not letting you didn't allow me to finish.
Oh, yes, more to say. Okay, so sorry.
Similar to Deion Sanders, people know who he is. They know if they're football players, not players who just want to be on the team, not guys who just want to wear the uniform. Football players who are trying to make it to the NFL will understand what they're getting into. Ain't gonna be all ears to Bill Belichick, the arguably one of the greatest coaches in NFL history, the guy who has 6 rings. You think he knows a thing or two about getting players to the NFL, right? So he's gonna be coaching these guys up and directing them to be NFL players. And so yes, that 17, 18, 19-year-old player is gonna be more than willing to listen to Mr. Bill Belichick and what he has to say about how to get to the NFL. I mean, more than willing. So, and I say similar to Deion Sanders. Obviously, Deion comes with he's a younger guy, comes with some more pizzazz and some flair. Bill, not all that. He's coming with, do you want to get to the NFL? Come play for me. I'll prepare you for the NFL. That's his sales pitch. That's all he has to say. That's all he has to say. I'll prepare you for the NFL. Come play here and let's go to work. That I think 17, 18, 19-year-olds are going to be listening to him. Football players wanting to go that route. Now, again, is he going to out recruit Deion Sanders? Probably not. But there's enough players in America, high school players in America, would have dreams and aspirations of going to the NFL that will listen with open ears to Bill Belichick. Do you disagree with that?
Yeah, Cam, but you missed one very integral part of all of this, and it's NIL money. And North Carolina doesn't have NIL money, and so they can't get the top recruits.
Have you not heard of? You don't know where Chapel Hill is? Have you not heard of? Is this the first time you're hearing of North? University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill. You've never heard of that before?
Their resources are allocated for basketball. Thank you so much for mentioning that. So when it comes time for Bill to kind of be like, hey, man, we need so-and-so from so-and-so. Be like, oh, okay. How much does he want? Oh, $2.6 million. Oh, well, that's not in the budget, my dude. He ain't got Bob Kraft behind him no more.
He ain't got Bob Kraft. He ain't got the Gillette razors selling them anymore. And this is so I hear what you're saying. It's traditionally, that's the key word here. Traditionally, a basketball school. Yes, you're exactly right. But you don't think there's going to be any a diversion of some of those funds for Bill Belichick?
Some, but not in the same way that those other, traditional, tried and true blue blood football programs do things. No,
he's not going to compete. He's not going to compete with Alabama, the only one school in the state.
He's not going to compete with the top 25 schools in America.
I disagree with that. He won't compete with the top 10. They'll be in the top 15, for sure. They'll be in the absolutely. You don't think that was Cleveland?
The accountant over there at the University of North Carolina?
I'm sorry?
You're talking to the accountant over there at the University of North Carolina. I mean, I can name 15 programs off the top of my head that will spend more money than North Carolina on the football.
They'll be in the top 15. And you don't think with the Bill Belichick coming, you don't think that's part of Bill Belichick's writer, that 400-page manifesto that he gave to school? We're going to have to be in a top 15 to 20.
That dude is 72 years old. How long is he going to be there?
Well, he's also paving the way for, nepotism runs wild in sports. He's also paving the way for his children. So you guys might have to find a new special teams coach here in a year or two.
I know. Our defensive coordinator is gone. He's gone.
Oh, you guys already said pack your books and let McDaniels take over.
Your dad is the coach at University of North Carolina. You going to stay here at the University of Washington or what?
Yeah, that's what. So again, I don't think Bill's going there to remain just be a 6-10 or middle of. I was going to say 6-10, but they don't play 16 games in college. I don't think Bill's going there so he can just be a mediocre team, how they've been. I don't think that. And besides, they're going to be paying him a handsome salary. They're coming up with some money. I don't think he's in the Mac Brown contract where they can just pay him a few dollars, and Mac Brown is good with being 4-8 or 6-6. I don't think Bill's going to accept that. That would be my impression. I don't think Bill's coming there.
You're a Bill guy. Everybody knows this, man. You and Bill have a special rapport, man. He'll talk to you like he won't talk to nobody else on planet Earth. So that's cool.
So I have to give him a call. To figure it out. I was kind of surprised by that. I didn't want to disturb him.
Hey, man. No, these are college kids.
Well,
they make mistakes. They do things that they shouldn't be doing. And Bill's not going to stand for that. He's got to talk to people all the time, all the time.
No, Bill got somebody to do that. Bill's going to be in the coach's office.
No,
Bill's going to be in the coach's office.
That works in the pros. You can just go into the office, but hey, man, no, I'm alumni. I'm fourth, fifth generation here at this school. How long have you been here?
Yeah, and
all crazy to me. Like, no.
See, and that's the problem. Bill, you say fourth or fifth generation, and then that's when you throw that out there. We're gonna say, well, how much have you donated in the last couple of years? And unless your donation,
what if they say $140 million?
That might bring Bill out the office.
Okay, well, you gotta come out and talk. And hey, hi.
Then that'll bring Bill out the office.
But
if you're just talking about you're the coach's son, or you guys want to have a father Sunday brunch, hey, bro, Bill ain't showing up for that.
You can't just do that. I'm just responsible for the X's and O's out here. No, it's a college.
Bill ain't showing up for the father son brunch. He
most definitely is showing up for the father-son brunch if he's coaching a college team.
That's yet to be seen. On another note, how will this move for college impact his legacy? He was like 14 games away from.
Depends on what he does in college.
Does it? Does it really?
Yeah.
I mean, if he does go 6-6 in the next 2 years, you're gonna be like, oh well, he wasn't that good of a coach.
If he goes back-to-back national championships, you'd be like, oh wow, Bill Belichick is a genius.
Well, that might be a bridge too far. If North Carolina win the national championships, I don't think anybody's.
Well, I mean, what was your question? I don't understand.
I'm saying if he goes 6-6 over the next 2 seasons, are you going to say Bill Belichick didn't know what he didn't know what he was doing?
No, what I will say is that Bill, your scheme is incredible, but you need players to implement your scheme.
This guy gives coaches no credit at all.
But you can recruit players, top 5 recruits at every position, and then wow, look how amazing your system looks. Nick Saban. And don't forget that Saban is one of the Belichick disciples, right?
Exactly. I want you. I'm glad you mentioned that because where you don't want to give any Bill Belichick disciples any credit for what they've done in the NFL.
In the pros.
Yeah, but you just mentioned
because the Bill Belichick disciples in the pros have not been very good. Now, have they?
No, they haven't. But
and actually, even in college, they haven't been very good. Shall we go down the list real quick?
You just named the greatest college coach of all time.
Charlie Weiss at Notre Dame did nothing. Romeo Crennel at Cleveland, Kansas City, and Houston did nothing. Josh McDaniels at the Rams and the Raiders did nothing. Matt Patricia at Detroit did nothing. His disciples.
What about Nick Saban?
He went back to college. He went back to college and understood his place and understood what he was good at, which was yelling at 18 to 22-year-olds, kind of getting them ready for the next level. And he's done a great job of that, or did a great job of that until he decided to step down and retire. Yeah.
So you don't think Bill Belichick can do just as good as the job as Nick Saban, if not better?
No.
Oh. Okay. All right. How does so if he wins 2 he has to win 2 national championships for you to give him any credit for making this move.
Yeah.
And then I think that's a bridge too far. But how does the Patriots controversies impact Bill? It impact Bill and his legacy. The Spygate and the Deflategate. How does that impact Bill's legacy?
It depends on what side of the ledger you are with regards to that. I mean, obviously, I think he's been a cheater for a long, long time and always wants to get an advantage. I mean, why are you taping people's practices and why are you deflating the ball? Want some extra, advantage, some extra gain, and that's great.
Hold on, you're a major baseball fan, where the saying in baseball has been for your whole lifetime: if you're not cheating, you're not trying.
Mm-hmm.
So that's another reason. I don't want to take this conversation too far, but that's another reason I'm surprised by you being upset with frustrated with the Houston Astros, because again, if you're not cheating, you're not trying. All of a sudden now, cheating in baseball is forbidden.
I don't understand why you get where we're crossing.
You're coming down. You're saying he's been a cheater for a long time. You're saying Bill Belichick's been a cheater for a long time.
Yeah,
but you also
for a long time.
But you also understand the logic and the philosophy. If you're not cheating, you're not trying. So which one do you buy into?
Well, I mean, we were the 4-time Super Bowl champion, and you're still, taping other teams' practices and deflating the ball, and come on now, a lot of stuff going on.
Bill said he had nothing to do with the deflate.
He had everything to do with it.
He said the balls are given to the refs, approved them, and that's all he had to say. That's how I remember.
4-game suspension for Tom Brady. Ask him about
Well, that was the quarterback. The quarterback now, I can't say what the quarterback was doing. I don't know why the quarterback destroyed
again, fans, Cameron and Bill have a unique relationship. He will talk to him, sit down and hold his hand and talk for 5 minutes when he will talk for 2 seconds to nobody else.
Hey,
these guys are close. They're tight.
Hey, man. So I just had to ask that question before we get started now. The Chiefs and the Chargers. Do you have more faith in the Chargers? Or excuse me, do you have more faith in the Chiefs after their miraculous win over the Chargers? Or do you have more confidence in the Chargers after their close loss to the Chiefs? Which one? Where do you go?
More faith in the Chargers when their close loss to the Chiefs.
Oh. So you still not ready to say the Chiefs are going to 3-peat?
No, even less so.
Even less so. Fans, I said this before the beginning of the season. The Chiefs are going to 3-peat. I've said it before the season began. Here we are, 10-1 or 11-1. I mean, this is reminiscent of several conversations we've had, Cleveland. When do you jump on board? Why don't you have confidence in the greatest quarterback we've ever seen?
Their last 5 games, they have won by 3 points or less, and 2 of those games came down to the last play, and I believe 3 of those games came down to some weird special teams plays. This is coming off the loss to Buffalo, so easily could have 3 to 4 more losses, and they
don't. But that's the thing. They don't. They come up with
but for really flukish reasons that I'm not going to buy into, Cameron.
A win is a win, isn't it? A win is a win.
Not a win. A win is not a win when you block an extra point or you block a field goal or the other team like misses a 27-yard field goal. Like, no, you're just living dangerously.
So Cleveland, let me. I know you don't like statistics, but statistics support the argument, okay? And they kind of give you some history. Cleveland, who has the best record when trailing in the fourth quarter? What quarterback has the best record when trailing in NFL history? Let's just go NFL history. Cleveland.
Joe Montana.
I'm glad you brought him up. Joe Montana, when trailing in the fourth quarter, he is 33 and 54. That's a 37% winning percentage. You want to try again? You want to go with your guy Tom Brady? When he's trailing in the fourth quarter, he's 55 and 95. That's a 36% winning percentage. You want to go Peyton Manning or Daryl LaMonica, Johnny Unitas, Otto Graham? Let's go Otto Graham. Otto Graham, when he's trailing in the fourth quarter, he's 10-16-1. 38% winning percentage. You want to? I mentioned Peyton Manning. You want to go Peyton Manning? Peyton Manning, when trailing in the fourth quarter, Cleveland, is 45 and 92. Okay, that's a 32% winning percentage. Now let's talk about the greatest quarterback that we've seen play NFL football. That would be Patrick Mahomes. You agree with that, right? Are you ready to agree with that by now? Patrick Mahomes is the greatest quarterback we've seen.
I'm not ready to agree with that just
yet. You still reluctant to agree? Fans, I said this a full season ago. I said, "What's up, Con? Thank you for tuning in." I said this a season ago. Cleveland yet is still not ready to buy into it. Maybe this statistic help Cleveland out. Cleveland, when trailing in the fourth quarter, Patrick Mahomes, Cleveland, is 26 and 26. Do you know what that winning percentage is? That's 50% winning percentage, if you wanted to know. That's far better than your guy Joe Montana, far better than your guy Peyton Manning, far better than your guy Otto Graham and your guy Peyton Manning. Nobody has a better record when trailing in the fourth quarter. Cleveland, there's a reason for that. It's because the guy is special. The guy makes play after play after play and is special. He's willing his team to win. Okay? That's why I said they're going to go at 3-peat.
Cameron, can I ask you a quick question?
Yes, sir.
How many teams have led their team to a Super Bowl victory after winning 5 consecutive games by 3 points or less.
Yeah, we'll figure that out when they win the Super Bowl.
Oh, you don't know that?
I have that stat. I have that stat when they win Super Bowl. How about that?
Throw it at me like right quick. Wow.
I have that stat for you.
You only have the stats that support your opinion and hypothesis.
No, he don't need it. When excuse me, Cleveland, answer Khan's question. Mahomes might not need 7 wins to surpass Brady. No, he doesn't need he doesn't need the 7 wins, in my opinion. I'm saying he's arguably the best quarterback that anybody watching football has seen already. I'm willing to say that already, right now, today, December 11th, 2024.
Yeah, I mean,
when he wins a three-peat, when he wins 3 Super Bowls in a row.
Well, okay. So how many is that right now? He's
at 2 right now. He's at 2. He has 3 rings. He's at 2 right now, back to back. When he wins a three-peat.
We'll get to 4 rings. I mean, at least get to Terry Bradshaw status.
I know, Cleveland. I don't have to wait to say the sun's coming out. I can look out. I can look out the window and see it's clear skies and the sun is shining. I don't have to wait till 12 o'clock noon to say that.
Wait to say Patrick Mahomes has as many Super Bowl rings as Joe Montana and Terry Bradshaw. You have to wait.
No.
No, you don't have to wait.
Some people may have to wait. I can predict this already. I can say he's already a better quarterback than Joe Montana. I can say that. I can say he's already a better quarterback than Terry Bradshaw. I can say that unequivocally. I can say that right now.
Is that he has as many rings as those 2 players aforementioned.
I didn't predict he has as many rings. That's not where we're going at. I don't think rings is a determining factor of what type of player you are. I think Eric Dickerson is one of the top running backs we've ever seen in my lifetime. I think Marshall Faulk is arguably one of the top 3 running backs that we've seen. He has one Super Bowl ring.
How great you are.
I'm sorry?
Yeah, you don't think rings determine how great you are.
No, because I can watch the game and there's an eye
test. 7, I mean, big deal.
It was Rodgers who was the best, I thought, for a long time until Mahomes came along. Yeah, that's facts right there. He did it better. I don't think it best we've seen, but I mean, in terms of being greater than Brady, does he need 7? No, he doesn't need 7. And if I wasn't so rudely interrupted, Con, by my co-host here, I would say once he wins 3 in a row and does 3 in a row that nobody else has done, then that puts him on a different plane. Montana hasn't won 3 in a row. Brady hasn't won 3 in a row. Terry Bradshaw hasn't won 3 in a row. Once he wins 3 in a row, he's on a different plane.
But you see, he's not really actually going to win 3 in a row, right?
That's what you say. That's what
what I say.
I predicted this from before week 1. I predicted that the Chiefs are 3 people.
Cameron, but you've seen enough to know they're not going to win a 3rd.
So Cleveland, how many? What was the stat you gave me? The last 5 games, they won games by 3 points or less. Don't you think, Cleveland, that prepares you for close games in the playoffs? You don't think that builds up?
It's incredibly lucky, and if you look at some of the teams that they've barely beaten, one of them was the Carolina Panthers. They just barely beat them. One of them was the Los Angeles Chargers. Okay, that's a formidable team. But look back at some of these other teams they just barely squeaked by. No. One of them
win is a win, or is this college football where you get this isn't the in-season tournament where you get the point differential. You need the point differential to elevate your standings in the rankings. This isn't college football where you need the eye test. A W is a W. You move on to the next week, isn't it? That's what my understanding was. Do you have a different understanding?
I do not, Cameron, but it's going to be playoff time here real soon.
Mm-hmm. And you don't think that this team is battle tested?
No.
You don't think the 12-1 team is battle tested?
Great come from behind victories against the Raiders and the Panthers.
The Chargers, the Panthers, the Broncos. Yes, you don't think that means they're battle tested? All three of those were division. Well, you know how tough it is to win a divisional game now. You know how tough it is to win a game in division.
It's field goals, blocked field goals, offsides. Like, no. They're vulnerable. Very, very vulnerable.
Con. Thank you, Con. Thank you, Con. I couldn't have said it better myself. I couldn't say. Isn't that the mark of a champion? Always find ways to win no matter what? Isn't that what champions do?
It is when you put it in its proper context. These guys
What do you mean proper context? At 4 of the last 5 weeks, they're 4-1 in these close games.
Have you seen the way they've been winning these games?
I don't know. Is it a W or not? That's what we want to know. You're talking about a game that happened a month ago, and then you're trying to compare it to the game that happened last week. Is it a W or not?
You win 4 games by a blocked field goal and this field goal, a blocked field goal and this field goal, and you'd be like, "Ooh,
12-1.
They did it.
12-1. 12-1. What's your argument?
Buffalo's coming, Baltimore's coming, Pittsburgh's coming, and yeah, man, it's not gonna be a blocked field goal.
Okay, Cleveland.
It's not gonna be a blocked field goal. It's not gonna be in this field goal.
When we had
drop pass.
When we had Tyler on the show a couple of weeks ago, you said you had no confidence in Baltimore because of why?
Because they play with their food and they don't understand the gravity of the situation, and they make mistakes at crucial times.
So a team that does not make mistakes at crucial times and win these games in crucial times, you don't want to give that team any credit. You see what I'm saying?
They will not.
You see exactly what I'm saying? How are you?
Are we going here? They are not going
that they're going to win a Super Bowl? That they're going to three-peat? What you got a pound on it? That they're going to three-peat?
Oh, no, I got 2.
Oh, well, I'll put a pound on that. I mean, I'm already got some money up.
I already got money in the bank. 2. How many you got?
I already got money in the bank. By the way,
you already got money in the bank on. Okay, great. You already got money
on the field. On the field, Caleb Williams. What kind of season is Caleb Williams having that Rookie of the Year season?
Okay, well, they haven't voted just yet, but I got 2 pounds. I got 2 pounds of ribs. The Kansas City Chiefs don't win the Super Bowl this year.
Well, that's good. I'm gonna take you up on that offer because again, I don't know why.
So
now,
you're in for 2.
Two of them. Yeah, write it down. Mark it down. Text it to your wife for confirmation. Yeah, 2 of them. Kansas City Chiefs will win the Super Bowl, and I predicted this. Cleveland is acting like this is not something I said. I said this in August before they kicked off for week 1. I said they're 3-peating, and now you're acting like this is something new. I've already said this. It's already written and already established.
So when they win in the conference playoffs, you'll pay right out, right?
I'm sorry.
So when they lose in the conference game.
Here's what we're gonna do. This is how it's gonna go down. I'm gonna be in your town. Well, some things may have changed. But I'm gonna come eat my 2 ribs in front of you. How about that? I'm gonna eat my 2 ribs.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna do it
in front of you. How about that?
Cam, I don't have that type of ability to eat 2 pounds of ribs all at once. So how I'm going to do it is eat the first pound, or I might even split it up into half a pound 4 times. But just for your own personal, self-sake, I might eat the first pound and just like fall asleep, have you drive me home, and then do it again, like 3 weeks later. But I can't eat 2 pounds of ribs all at once. So. But you are going to feel the full brunt of all of this just for talking all crazy.
I'm not talking crazy. You acting like this is something new.
Kansas City Chiefs can't put the Carolina Panthers away. Seeing the way that the Kansas City Chiefs can't put
Con, I don't know where you've been all these years, Con, but I mean, isn't special teams a part of the game? Is that not a part of the football game? Special teams. Is that not a part of it? So isn't that what happens? Offense, defense, special teams. Con, way to go, Con. Way to go. Thanks for breaking this down for this guy. He doesn't listen to me, Con. Maybe he's gonna listen to our listeners. We appreciate you, bro. Thanks for tuning in to the Voice of the Fans podcast. Rams over the Bills. What was that? Did you enjoy the game? I mean, highest scoring game of the season, going back and forth. I mean, the MVP just couldn't. He couldn't get it done because Stafford, when he's feeling good, he can sling that thing.
Yeah, it was an epic game. Originally, from a gambler's perspective, I was going the other direction. I was like, yeah, Buffalo's going to steamroll those guys, and then my guy Shaquem was like, hey man, Buffalo's traveling across the country, and they used to being in the
he was buying into your theory of what East Coast team traveling west.
Not only East Coast team traveling to the west across the country, but then like going from like minus 10 degrees to 75 and sunny, and we're in LA. Like, hey, you get a little bit too into being like a human being again, as opposed to like a popsicle, and it takes a little bit of a little bit of time to kind of like reallocate yourself to playing the game, and so, that's what happened.
Man, it was a good
3 touchdowns, thrown and 3 rushing. That's
Ooh. That's an MVP type performance, isn't it?
That's gangster, yeah.
Is that MVP type performance? I mean, we gotta get Tyler back on here soon. He said what you need is signature moments. Now, since then, we seen see him fly through the air against San Francisco, right? When he scored, when he caught the interception.
That was the snow and stuff, but he certainly had some Kodak moments. I'm not gonna lie to you at all about that.
He beat the Chiefs, handed the Chiefs their only defeat. It beat the Chiefs, handed them their only defeat, went flying through the air against San Francisco.
We'll have a few more signature moments coming up this weekend on Sunday.
Ooh, you got them beating the Lions? You got the Bill?
I do. But...
Ooh. So it's going to take some signature moments. So again, I already, you saw my article. You can see the article on voiceofthefans.org. You can already see who I have picking, who I have picked as the NFL MVP. I mean, it's between Saquon. Saquon needs to have some special. He needs something special to happen. He's more than halfway there. It's very doable for Saquon to beat Eric Dickerson's record, his single season rushing record, and Chris Johnson yard from scrimmage record. If he breaks one, two, or both, if he were to break both of those records, it's going to be hard to take it out of Josh Allen's hands. But if he breaks both of those records, it's going to be hard to deny him. It's going to be hard to deny Saquon of what he's done.
Yeah, if he goes over 21.05, man, cut it out. Yeah, no. Yeah, Josh ain't going to get it.
He might have to need.
He can't break the single season rushing record, and certainly if he does it in 16 games,
he might need. He does have, and that's the thing. He has an extra game to break that single season rushing record. Eric Dickerson did it in 16 games. He has an extra game.
He goes 21.07 in like 17 games. Like, okay, that's great.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. But if he gets both of those records, though, if he gets both of the records. Chris Johnson did it in 2009.
He's not getting CJ2K's record, but I mean,
why not? Why not? I think he's 120 yards a game from breaking Eric Dickerson's record. Okay, and I think he's like 200 yards from breaking Chris Johnson's record. So that's a big. I thought
that Chris Johnson was average.
No, Chris Johnson was 20. That was a 25-16, I believe it was. It was 25-16 for combined yards from scrimmage.
Oh no, he's not getting. He's not getting that.
Well, I don't know. I mean, it's doable. It's not far fetched. He's averaging 124 yards a game already this season. He needs 120 yards per game to break Eric Dickerson's record. So if he just gets his average,
so he's not getting either one of those.
Why you so rushed to say he's not getting either one of them?
Because the game's coming up, it's not doable.
I don't know why Saquon. I don't know why you're saying already. Why that's so far fetched. I don't get it. Like he can't do that already. I'm trying to look at his passing, his receiving yardage. How many receiving yards does he have? Receiving yards is 267. I think he needs another like 250 yards receiving on the season to break Chris Johnson's record. But let's see who the Eagles play. I don't know, Cleveland. That's not beyond measure for him to break that record. Now you talking like that's not even conceivable. Let's look at who the Eagles play. The Eagles play. They play the Steelers. They play the Commanders, the Cowboys, and the Giants. Ooh, if he was to set that record, either record against the Giants,
Well, okay.
I'm rooting for that.
I said that before understanding that the last game of the season would be against.
I'm rooting for that. Ooh, if he was to go into,
I respectfully changed my position, Cameron. If the last game of the season is against the Giants, yeah, he may maul them to holy hell. Except for the fact
that they might be resting. They could be resting.
Can't do any better. Now
Pittsburghers are tough. Pittsburghers are toughest competition.
Here's where it gets a little dicey, right? The Detroit Lions lose to the Buffalo Bills, and both teams went out after that. So the last game of the season is for what?
But still,
last game of the season is for what, Cameron?
The first for the bye in the playoffs.
So if the game is for the bye and he has to play the Giants, and the whole world has heard the conversation, how disrespectful it was for you to we're not going to pay you that until you come back with a flyer from somebody else that'll pay you that. And then
it's not we're not going to pay you that. We're not going to make you an offer. We're not going to make you an offer. Go see what the market is going to get you. It wasn't that.
And then give us a chance to match that.
Yeah, they call us back. They did call us back. They call us back. Come on, man. Yeah. Oh man, everybody's going to be rooting for him to get 200 yards rushing that game.
Oh,
that would be epic. That would be epic if he did that against the Giants. But they play the Steelers. That'll be their toughest matchup. The Commanders and Dan Quinn, they're not going to let him, just run roughshod over them. But they stop him? The Cowboys. I mean, we see the Cowboys is going to they're going to be on vacation mode by that time. They're going to be thinking Cancun by the time they meet him in December 29, and then the Giants the following week. Cleveland, I don't think it's undoable. Like I said, he's averaging already this season till net up to this date. He's averaging 124 yards rushing per game. He just needs to maintain that average, and then he needs about 300 yards, less than 300 yards to get CJ receiving.
Cameron, now you're just being a stat nerd. He just needs to maintain 120 yards.
He needs to maintain his average. What, Cleveland? We're 13 weeks into the season. To say maintain your average is not far-fetched.
No. 120 yards a game is running over fools, man. Running over fools.
Cleveland. And he's done it. And this is what you're not understanding. They're 11-2. He's done it through 13 weeks of the NFL. It's not like I'm asking him to do something superhuman.
That's not a write it down with a Sharpie pen kind of number, man. 120 yards on the ground. No.
When the guy is already averaging 124 yards, why is that far fetched?
Averaging.
What?
How many games? No, look it up.
Why is that far fetched?
Yes, because it's an average. Look it up. How many games?
That means he's done it.
Cameron, how many games has he rushed over 120 yards?
Out of 13 games, he did it week 1, week 3, week 4, week 6, 7, 8, and week 12. What is that? Week 12 or week 11? It is. He's Cleveland. There's only been
So
one, two,
it was-
three, four.
yeah.
There's only 4 games where he rushed under 100 yards this year. There's only been 4 games out of 13 where he rushed under 100 yards. Only 4.
So we did against the Bellevue Wolverines, the Indiana Hoosiers.
Oh, so now again, is it how many games does it matter, or is it who you're playing? I mean, you keep changing the goalposts.
Let's bring it down to the next level. So
he did it against the Carolina Panthers.
Okay.
He rushed for 200 against the Rams. He rushed for 255. Against the Washington Commanders, who he plays in a couple weeks, he rushed for 150 yards. Against the Jacksonville Jaguars, he had 160. Against the Bengals, he had 108. Against the Giants, he ran for 176. So the Giants that he sees in a couple of weeks.
I'm so sorry. You're seeing where I'm going with this, right? The Giants, the Jacksonville Jaguars. Who was that?
Cleveland, you can only play who's in front of you. You can only play who's in front of you. Well, you want to see him play the Steelers every week?
121 yards a game, and his biggest games were against the Jacksonville Jaguars, the Carolina Panthers, the New York Giants, and I'm so sorry, who else?
The Rams. You got any respect for Sean McVay and what the Rams are doing? Who else ran for 250 yards this season, Cleveland?
I believe the Dallas Cowboy running back rushed for 487 yards on Monday night against the Dallas Cowboys defense.
No,
I'm so sorry, against the Cincinnati Bengals defense.
That was the first time he rushed for 100 yards all season long. Cut it out. Cleveland, I don't know. You don't want to go by the average.
Totally where I'm coming from with this. You totally.
Okay. What you got on him not averaging 120 yards for the rest of the year? What do you have on him not averaging? Anything? No, you don't. You don't want to put anything on it because you know.
I'm gonna let you stew in that nonsense. I'm gonna let you stew in that muck that you just created for no reason.
So we were talking about the Bills, and we got to talking about the MVP. I have, like I was saying, I have Josh Allen as my league MVP this season. The only way he doesn't get the award is if Saquon Barkley. I think he has to do both. He has to rush for
121 yards a game for the next 4 games against some more formidable opponents than Jacksonville.
Yeah, they're all NFL players. Man.
Yeah.
They're all NFL players.
Okay.
Dude, who did? Now you're gonna make me go look at who Eric Dickerson broke his record against, and that's not how it goes. They're NFL players. You on the field, you get ran through. They're NFL players. They're top competition. It doesn't matter who they played. They're NFL players. The NFL competition. This is an NFL record. They didn't play. They didn't play Snoop Dogg Academy. Okay, they didn't play them guys. They weren't on the schedule. They didn't go to the Philadelphia Boys Club and play them. They weren't on the schedule. They played the NFL team in the NFL arena, in the NFL stadium with NFL rules. Okay, so the guys could have stopped them. Right now, he's averaging 124 yards a game. Period. In the story. Okay. But like I was saying, I think Josh Allen, even though they lost to Buffalo, even though they lost to the Rams in a shootout, he still came away. I mean, 3 touchdowns rushing, 3 touchdown passing. I mean, that's big dog status. Credit to Josh Allen for getting it done. The Lions and the Packers. I mean, I took the Packers in that game if I remember correctly, and the Lions just pulverized them. Well, they didn't pulverize them.
No, they won by a field goal. They won
by a field goal. So do the Lions outlast them? Are you okay with Dan Campbell going for it on 4th down against the Packers? Are you okay with them going for it instead of kicking the field goal? They could have kicked the field goal, and then the Packers would have had the ball with 30 seconds left, maybe. But he said, "No, I'm gonna go for it, and I'm not gonna give them the ball at all, and then we'll run the clock down and we'll kick the field goal." Were you okay with that, or would you rather see him kick the field goal?
Kick the field goal, my dude. He's reckless. It's going to cost him again.
Oh, you believe it's going to cost him? You call him reckless, huh?
Reckless.
So did that say more? Did that say more about the Lions or the Packers that game?
It says more about the Packers.
Yeah, I thought Josh. I thought Jordan Love. He hasn't been terrible. I just thought he was going to be better this season. I don't want to say regress is a strong word to use, but he just because he did have the injury where he was out a few games, but he just hasn't been as good as I expected this season. And he throws a lot of give him up balls. Do you think the Raiders could have used Josh Jacobs though, who actually scored 3 touchdowns in that game? Do you think the Raiders could have used that guy?
Josh Jacobs chose to go his own way. Didn't want to be part of the rebuilding process, and best of luck to him. And
I don't think the Raiders didn't offer him a contract. I think that's how that went. They didn't offer him a contract.
Okay, well, maybe they didn't want to pay him what he thought he was worth on the open market.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
he got his cheese. So congratulations to him. Josh Jacobs.
You still ain't not Josh Jacobs.
Trying to throw that Alabama shit in here, like I didn't pick up on that, man. Cut that
3 touchdowns in the game. I mean, come on, he balled out on Sunday. You got to give him some credit. You don't want to give him the guy credit. You never want to give him the guy credit anyway.
Of all the Alabama running backs, I will only give credit to 2 right now.
To who?
You already know the 2 I'm gonna give credit to, so you go ahead and say it.
To Derrick Henry, and you're gonna go rewind the clock back to go to Alexander?
Nope.
Who?
There's one player right now.
Derrick Henry and who else? I thought you were gonna say Alexander. That would have been my first pick, and you had no idea who Alexander was.
I'm talking about present day. I'm not talking about obviously Shawn Alexander left. That's that whole thing. Come on now. Your guy. Why are you messing around here?
I don't know who you're talking about. Who are you talking about? Derrick Henry and who else?
Jameer, man. He's balling. Out of control.
I mean, Jameer is nasty, right? He is getting it done right now. Josh Jacobs, bro. I don't know. I don't understand what your disdain for Jacobs is, bro. He's Josh Jacobs has led the NFL in rushing. He's led the NFL in rushing. And
all right, then that's cool. All right, then that's cool. Word.
Yeah. He's had a gain of over 1,000 yards. The benchmark you wanted to give over 4 times in his 6-year career.
That's great. First round out. Is that what you said?
Well, we're not talking about his team. We're not talking about his team. If the Raiders didn't appreciate him and value him, his production, that's their part. That's what I'm saying. The Raiders gave him up. The Eagles barely beat the Panthers. In a game that Saquon Barkley broke the record for the Eagles single season rushing record. Did that matter to you? I mean, he broke your guy Shawn McCoy's record. Did that matter? Big deal. Was that more about the Eagles or the Panthers? Because the Panthers had him beat. If Duke catches a pass from Bryce Young, I know you don't have any love for Bryce Young, but Bryce Young put the ball on the money. If Duke catches the ball, that's a win for the Panthers. Duke catches the ball on the 5-yard line, rolls into the end zone untouched.
Sure. And just so the fans understand, you don't have any love for Bryce Young either. But no, it's more about what the Panthers accomplished. Yeah, they took the team that is quite possibly the second best team in the NFC toe to toe, and had that dude that bet the $3 million on the money.
Oh, you said he was point shaving. Well, you say don't check his phone after the game.
That dude was in the bathroom by himself watching that game on his phone, man. He was
Cleveland said don't go check Leggett's phone, NFL.
No, not Leggett. The dude that bet the $3 million on the money line. You hear this?
No,
fans. There was a gentleman, and I don't even know how this got leaked, but it got leaked that someone bet $3 million on the Philadelphia Eagles to win the game, to only get 440,000 if they won the game because they were 13.5-point favorites. So imagine somebody with $3 million on the line and Bryce Young coming down the field and throwing a pass to Leggett that fortunately he did not catch.
Ooh. I mean, yeah, that's life ending right there. That, I mean,
wow.
Unless that was Drake, I mean that you might be calling it quits right there. Because woo, that's crazy.
It was never supposed to be in question. It came down to a drop.
$3 million to win how much?
440,000. It was such a disrespect.
He has a problem.
Line.
That dude has a problem. That dude has a serious problem.
How does that dude have a problem?
You're betting $3 million to win $500,000,
but you're betting that the Philadelphia Eagles beat the Carolina Panthers at home.
But that's not even. It's not even a
by a point.
That's not even a even bet.
I would have done it.
You would have bet $3 million just to win $500,000.
Absolutely. If
no, man, come on. Yeah. Cleveland, talk to me before you make your bets. Then we need to have a direct line before you start making your bets.
Talk to that.
Why would you put $3 million up to win $500,000? That's not even
because that team is so much better than that team.
The risk reward, the ROI is not even there's no ROI, there's no return on your investment.
Absolutely pencils out because they won the game.
He won 400,000. That's what, 20% of my bet?
Because that team was okay.
That's 20% of my bet.
The Baltimore Ravens are playing the New York Giants this week. They are favored by 16.5 points. Who do you think is going to win that game?
I think the Baltimore Ravens will win that game. I'm not putting $3 million up to win 700,000.
Oh, yeah.
That doesn't even pencil out.
For sure.
Why would I bet
how does it not pencil out? That team is so much better than that team that they are absolutely going to win the game by at least.
My risk reward, I'm not risking $3 million to win 750. That doesn't register for me. I'm not a gambler, clearly, but that doesn't register. If I'm winning $3 million, I should be winning at least my $3 million back and probably twice as much. Now, if you're telling me I can bet $3 million to win $6 million.
Okay, we're moving right along. Yeah,
that doesn't even pencil out. Yeah.
Gambling's not in your wheelhouse. That's okay.
Yeah, it doesn't pencil out. There's no risk. There's no ROI.
Cam, that's okay. That's okay.
Yeah, no ROI. But that I can understand why dude was on edge there. There's no ROI. Bengals outlasted Cowboys. Is that on the culture of the player to know the rules on a block punt? What do you think?
Player.
You don't think the coach has to tell the player?
No, he tells the player. No. They tell everyone what's going on before they go on the field.
Well, I mean, first of all, you can't predict the block punt. Should we have a block punt? Like the player, I mean, that's back in training camp. You learn kind of the block punt the rules involved with the block punt that should be in training camp. You learn that if we have a block punt and it doesn't go past a line of scrimmage, that we can't, if we touch it and don't get it, it goes to the other team. Like that, if we touch it and don't get it, it goes to the other team. That's common knowledge within the NFL players. That was kind of bad luck more so than anything. Because that is so fluky. They get the block punt. The dude muffs the return, and I don't know if you watched the replay. Did you watch the replay where dude muffs it, and then the Bengal dude who saw muffed it shoved him to the ground and takes the ball before the dude can react and tackle him? It was crazy. The dude he tried to get it, muffed it, and then just kind of got shoved out of the way. It was like, oh shit, I better make a tackle. It was kind of crazy. That was good heads up play by the Bengals player. Now these are second and third string guys. These aren't like they're these guys are every down players because it's their special team. They're not every down players. They only play on special teams. So for them to get the ball back, and then you saw as soon as they got the ball back, you saw Burrow to Chase. Burrow to Chase ended the game. That was more bad luck than anything else. But that's kind of says how their season was going. Cleveland, the Bengals are going to end up with they'll be the only team with the passing leader and the reception leader on the same team, and the sack leader on the same team. The Bengals will, if their season was to end today, they would end the season with the passing leader, the reception leader, and the sack leader on the season, which is crazy to be 5-8. That's bananas. Chase is on pace to win the receiving triple crown, the most receptions, the most yards, and the most TDs by a receiver, which is also bananas. I'm gonna give you another stat too. Which is just kind of mind-blowing. Joe Burrow, let's tell you how this speaks to me how good Joe Burrow is. Joe Burrow, most consecutive games with 300 yards passing and 3 TDs. Who holds the record, Cleveland?
Dan Marino holds that record, Cam.
Well, Dan Marino holds the record. In a single season since 1970, Peyton Manning has 4, and when he did it, they were 13-3. Patrick Mahomes has 4. When he did it, he was 12-4. Most consecutive games with 300 yards passing and 3 TDs in the same game. Joe Burrow, he has the same amount as Patrick Mahomes and Peyton Manning, 4, but he's 5-8. Steve Young has done it 5 times. He was 12-4. So everybody has won more than 12 games and have no more than 4 losses, but Burrow has 5 games and they done it 5 times and 8 losses. Man, I'd be so pissed if I was him. I'd be, well, I guess he couldn't be, so he pays the most on the team. He can't be really pissed. But that just tells you how bad that defense is. That's what that tells you. How bad that stinking defense is. That's what that tells you. And I mean, he can say he did his part, but gee whiz, that defense stinks. They have 8 losses. And I don't know who you blame that on. You can't say Joe Burrow is not, he should be better. What more do you want him to do? Like, you want him to make a tackle? You want to play safety? Is that what you want him to do? You want to put him at linebacker? I don't know what more you want Joe Burrow to do. I just don't get it. But they need to do something. Somebody mentioned this, like 72%. I think that number is 72% of the money spent is on their offense, and that's only going to go higher because you gotta pay Chase. There's no way you let Chase out the door. There's absolutely no way you do not pay Chase, Jamar Chase. I guess so. I guess if you decided to pay Higgins and then you could trade Chase, but Chase is not under contract. I just don't think there's no way conceivable that you do not pay Jamar Chase. So that number's only going to go higher. So it's like 70% your money spent on the team goes to your offense, 30% to the defense. That's the only way to understand this disparity on the defense. How they have 8 losses and the dude is balling out. What's your thoughts there?
They have played some very tight games. which results in some very heartbreaking losses. Yeah, but I mean, look at again. You have to look at how they lost some of these games in the same way that we're looking at how Kansas City won some of these games. It's kind of like, wow.
8 of them. Go ahead, keep going.
They probably should be more like 8-5 as opposed to 5-8. At least 3 of those losses are like, wow, kind of crazy.
Kansas City. They lost to Kansas City by 1 point. They lost to the Washington Commanders by 3 points. They lost to Baltimore by 3 points. Who else? Another close game. They lost to Baltimore again by 1 point. So the 2 losses to Baltimore is by 4 points.
Yeah. Huh? Total of 4 points.
Yeah. They
lost the first game of the year to New England. Kind of weird. Jamar wasn't quite engaged just yet. Yeah. So 8-5 is not that far fetched.
We're 13 weeks in, and we can say what should have done, what they should have done.
Okay, what was your question? What was it that you were asking? Do you remember your original question?
Yeah, I was just pointing out how bad their defense is, and you're saying,
right. And where should they be, and how should they feel about it? I mean, they should feel about like, yeah, our defense has let us down, and ownership has let them down because they let this whole Jamar Chase, T. Higgins thing just fester all the way through the whole season.
Yeah.
And when it comes around to next year, unfortunately, those Browns have proven that they're, a little bit chintzy when it comes to, the pocketbook. So I have a feeling that both of them will leave. I cross my fingers and hope they keep Jamar Chase, but I don't think they will.
Hold on. I can't hear you, man. I lost you. I don't know what happened.
I can't hear you.
I don't know what you did. Did you hit another button?
Bro, I have not touched a single button, man. Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Man, I don't know how I lost you, my man. I don't know how I lost you, but I lost you. Let me see if I can remove you and bring you back. Does this work?
Can you hear me?
I can't hear you.
You want me to go out?
Yeah, go in and come back. Go out and come back in. I don't know how I lost you, man. What do you guys think? What do you guys think about the Bengals and the way they losing these games? Is that should Jamar or Burrow be trying to go somewhere else? I don't know. What do you guys think about this? This is crazy. How they're losing these games. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
You got me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
What did I do last time? I closed it down and restarted it. Let me see if that works again. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I did hit the button this time. I don't know. I couldn't re-hit the button. Maybe I did hit the button. Got a button on my microphone, and maybe I did hit it this time. Yeah, that's crazy what the Bengals are doing, man. So Geno leads the Seahawks to another win. You ready to talk about Geno now? Should Geno be in the MVP category?
No, I am ready to talk about that offensive line and what they were able to do to establish a run, and what Zach Charbonnet rushing for a career-high 134 yards, and how that opened up the Grubb offense to do a bunch of other things. That was brilliant.
Who's the quarterback of the Grubb offense?
Geno Smith.
So why doesn't he get credit for what's going on out there?
He did some good things.
Man, the fans are not appreciating you. Keep disrespecting Geno how you have been.
I do not.
He has 4 weeks in a row. He has 4 wins in a row against the Niners, against the Cardinals twice, and the New York Jets. They're 4-0 and they're atop their division, but you don't want to give Geno any credit. And I'm just curious as to why that is.
Well, for example, in that Arizona win, they didn't score an offensive touchdown, as I recall. In the Jets game, they had the ball inside the 4-yard line and couldn't score 8 consecutive plays. So it's not like this offense is clicking on all cylinders by any stretch of the imagination until this last game when they looked quite formidable.
Geno has a quarterback rating, a passer rating.
Hey, man, I'm not
100, 86, 86.
Fans, I'm not here for you to stat me to death, bro. I watch every single Seahawks game. Let's not get that confused at all.
I mean, but you're talking about Geno like he hasn't done nothing. 395-yard passing, 287, 327. He has a game where he passed 171 yards.
Yes, 14 touchdowns and 12 interceptions. Or did I miss that?
I mean, it's not his fault that DK can't get open all the time, or DK doesn't catch the ball.
14 touchdowns and 12 interceptions. If your quarterback was 14 and 12, how would you feel about it? I mean, I see the way you talk about Tua Tagovailoa. All he does is win 4 straight games on the strength of his arm.
Geno Smith had 4 straight wins.
Sorry, they did lose to Green Bay. That was a tough loss. It was in the cold. It was chilly. It's a different situation. But what I'm saying here is that look, if you really understand and watch the team, I'm not taking anything away from Geno. Geno's been a soldier, man. He's done some great things here, man. But come on, man. The defense has been carrying him the last 3 games. This is the first.
Are you signing Geno? Are you re-signing Geno? Or are you trying to go get Sam Darnold? What are you doing next year?
Oh, Geno over Sam Darnold, any day, all day.
I mean, but Sam Darnold is tearing the league up right now. He got the Vikings 12-2, and he's throwing.
That's your duty. I mean, you think he's been coached up and stuff. He's coming to Seattle. Absolutely. Okay, well, he's coming to Seattle next weekend. We're about to find out. Can't wait for Sam Darnold to come to town.
Ooh. You're licking your chops.
Oh. Sam Darnold coming to town. Oh,
this ain't your uncle.
Mike McDonald has finally figured out the frequency, bro. Woo.
This ain't your Uncle Sam Darnold though. This ain't how this ain't the same guy you used to remember.
Okay.
Wow.
See you next Sunday.
Vikings. Speaking of Sam Darnold, Vikings beat the Falcons. Darnold looked much better than Cousins. Cousins looked horrible, bro. And that Falcons defense, I don't know what they were doing. There were some wide open passes where
Addison looked like he was like a
Jerry Rice or something. They're just
receiver. Yeah.
They're just running out there free. They're catching the ball, defenders falling down, not even being juked. Like, I don't know what these guys are doing in Atlanta. I don't know. Cousins is who we thought he was. Actually, he is who we thought he was. And these defenders are horrible.
It's unfortunate that we're seeing like 2 old quarterbacks like getting old at the same time, man. Like Rodgers and Cousins, like oof.
I mean, Rodgers. Well, they're both coming back from Achilles heel injuries.
Yeah,
they're both recovering from Achilles heel injuries. At least Cousins hasn't. It's just been recent. Cousins hadn't looked bad all season long. There was a point where he's doing the the swag surf with the fans and stuff. I mean, I don't know what he.
I believe it was either the Ravens or the Eagles they beat earlier. Yeah,
I mean,
and they're only a game out of first place. So I mean, hey man,
that's a terrible debate, man. Come on,
it is, but they're still only a game out of the division lead.
Do you pay down? Do you franchise tag Darnold? Do you give him a contract? Because he signed a 1-year deal as a backup. He wasn't supposed to play this year.
Absolutely do not franchise tag Sam Darnold. No.
What do you do? What do you do if you're Minnesota? What do you do? Let him walk and play a rookie? Is that what you do? You play not a rookie. He won't be a rookie. He'll be in the second year, but he didn't play all this season. Your guy JJ.
I guess the question is, where do you think he's walking to?
Who, Sam Darnold?
Yeah.
No, I'm saying, well, Sam Darnold is gonna. You don't think this season he earned some money, or you think everybody's seeing it like me that he's been coached up?
The teams that really, really need a quarterback will draft in the top 7, and the other teams that really, really need a quarterback will be like, "Oh, that's Sam Darnold."
So you can't have this type of season to erase the stink off of what you've done off of his career. He can't have a revival.
Watch how Watch how these next 4 games go.
Wait, so you're predicting a precipitous fall off?
Precipitous drop.
I mean, come on. But you have to give them credit for what they've already done, don't you?
Nope.
Let me
Look at some of their games too, man. Sneaking by.
No,
yes, they have. Sneaking by.
They beat Green Bay by 2 points. I mean, they lost to Detroit by 2 points.
Okay.
I'm just looking at the sneak by. These other games are blowouts. Arizona, they won by 1 point. Arizona.
Well, that's really not a blowout, is it, Cameron?
Well, I'm just saying. There's been 4 games. Cleveland, we're 13 weeks into the season.
They went to overtime with Chicago, right? Overtime.
We're 13 weeks into the season.
Arizona Cardinals by a point, right?
You're pointing out 4 games out of 13. You're pointing out 4 games out of 13 to try to say what is the trend? Is the trend the rest of the 9 games or the trend of 4 games?
Sorry.
What are you looking at?
Because you're being completely, totally unobjective.
What are you talking about, Cleveland? They blew out your Houston Texans. There's a trend. If you want to look at a trend is 3 games or more.
Yeah, last 4 games.
Last 4 games.
What are we talking?
Last 4 games. They blew out the Falcons. They lost to Arizona, they beat Arizona by 1. They beat Chicago by 3, and they beat Tennessee by 10.
Right. And then the other game was Jacksonville, 4 field goals to a touchdown.
You can pick out you can pick out any number of games. The team is 12-2. So the next games they have, they Chicago. You don't expect them to beat Chicago. They play Seattle, Green Bay, and Detroit. Now, yes, they got some tough matchups coming up in the next 3 weeks.
You already know what's happening. You can see it for yourself, right? They beat Chicago. They beat Chicago and they lose the next 3 games.
I doubt they lose the next 3 games.
Sure. Who are they playing again?
Seattle, Green Bay, and Detroit. They're not gonna go 0 for 3. I mean, come on.
0 for 3.
Oh, 0 for 3. I don't know. We might have to discuss that here after they watch Chicago beat up on Chicago. 0 for 3. I don't know about that.
Okay.
The Browns, they cut Kadarius Toney after his game with the Steelers. He just made mistake after mistake. What's your thoughts? Did you see the clip where Mark Gastineau confronted Brett Favre at some Hall of Fame signing thing?
No, I kind of saw that it was a thing, but I was thinking like,
you gotta see the footage, man. You gotta see the footage. Mark Gastineau approached him. It was like, and you know, I don't want to give Brett Favre much credit for doing anything since his playing days, but he approached Gastineau was like, "Hey, I thought we already met before." And Mark Gastineau was like, "No, we haven't met, but you owe me a sack. You owe me a sack. You hurt me. You let Strahan sack you now steal my record." Brett Favre was like, "Huh?" Brett Favre was like, what's going on?" He's like, "Yeah, you hurt me, Brett. You hurt me." There's clearly something was going on with Mark, but like this is like Brett. He felt like Brett stole his girl or something. So what was her name? Brigitte Nelson that he was dating back in the day. He was acting like Brett had stole his girl or something.
That's Cody Brett Brigitte Nielsen.
I mean, but seriously, that's how Gastineau was acting. Like he's like, "You really hurt me, Brett. You really hurt me." Brett's like, "Huh?" Luckily, there were some guys, little handlers for the Hall of Fame or whatever they were doing. There was some signature signing. It was like, "Okay, Brett, we gotta go over here, Brett," and they walked away. But that was clearly Mark Gastineau this has been on his head for a long time. Since when did he get that Strahan get that record in 92 something like that? 92, 90.
Come on, man.
What was it? When did he get that record?
Nice.
No, Brett wasn't playing in 92. So was that
like
99, 2000?
Oh, like 14, 15.
Was it 14 or 15? Was it that late? I don't know. I don't even remember what year it happened, but yeah, it was it was a long time ago. But yeah, clearly Mark had been holding on to that. It was wild. It was a wild scene. You gotta check it out. I'm sure you'll find it on YouTube. Who's the coach of the year? Dan Campbell, Kevin O'Connell. We still have some things to figure out. Nick Sirianni, Andy Reid. Who's the coach of the year so far?
Man, honestly, I'm gonna have to say it's probably Dan Campbell with if Mike McDonald makes the playoffs, a very close second for Mike McDonald.
You're impressed with Mike, huh?
Impressed with Mike.
Okay. I'm not sure how impressed you were at the beginning of the season.
Well, they were 3-0. I was pleasantly surprised, and they lost 3 games. I'm like, where is this thing going? And then he cut one of his linebackers, traded the other one, and ever since
you like that move. You like that. You like that cutthroat angle.
He's part Jimmy, part Pete Carroll.
Oh,
he's a hybrid.
All right. Well, this ain't no hybrid. Let's look at what's going on this week.
Okay.
I had Detroit winning the game. Clearly, excuse me. Yeah, I had Detroit winning the game. I had Tennessee. I had Tennessee winning. What games did we get wrong? I had Buffalo beating the Rams. That was a shootout. So those are my 2 losses. You had Buffalo, Tennessee, and Green Bay. I mean, did you just see terrible Lions, or what you see from that game? Terrible Packers or good Lions? How'd you see that?
I mean, it was 34-31. I thought it was a heavyweight battle, in division, and it came down to a field goal and they won.
Okay. Our picks against the spread. I had New Orleans, Seattle, and the Jets, and you had Green Bay, Seattle, and the Chargers. Good picks on that one. Because the Chargers Chiefs ended up being a pretty good game.
Yourself, why you? Oh, it was plus 6.5. You got him at 6.5. Good looking. Woo. Because I got him at the casino at 6, or I should say Miami. I should say that's half point is crucial.
Crucial, yeah. Yeah, this is getting too easy. We're gonna have to change this format up. Like I said, I got an idea that a good way to change this up for next season.
Well, not that easy because you weren't perfect.
Again, Buffalo doesn't lose their 2-point game, I go undefeated. Nonetheless, you went undefeated, okay. But I've been perfect. Come on, don't act like I've been perfect 3 of the last 4 weeks. Cut it out. Going into this week here, Rams 49ers. I'm tempted to go. It's in San Fran. That's why I go. That's why I go Niners. But I'm tempted. I wonder how much momentum the Rams has got with that win last week. And does Deebo Samuel's does this alter the philosophy of the Niners going into this game? The Niners don't have running backs too. Come to think about it, they're down under 4th-string running back. I probably should have took the Rams in that game. Nonetheless, I got the Niners in this game. KC and the Browns. This is going to be KC easy. Bengals and the Titans. Which games do we disagree on? You got Miami. Now, there's some jinx here. You're trying to go here with some jinx. Why are you taking Miami to beat Houston?
Tua Tagovailoa.
Man, this is some Cleveland jinx he's trying to put on my squad right now. He's trying to put the jinx on. Tua stinks. The Miami Dolphin offense stinks. The only way Houston doesn't win is if Stroud
defense just the other day.
The only way the Dolphins don't win, Houston doesn't win this game is Stroud goes in there and he throws 3 interceptions. That's the only way they don't win. And he hasn't had a great season. I understand that, but he's not going to throw 3 interceptions against the Dolphins. The Dolphins' defense is not that formidable. Their passing game is less formidable. I don't believe that. Cleveland is just trying to jinx my squad. That's all he's trying to do. You got Seattle over Green Bay. You want to talk about that one?
Well, I mean, I thought you were going to talk about Buffalo over Detroit. You just.
Oh, I did. Oh, yeah, I did gloss over that one. Josh Allen, the MVP, going
over Philadelphia. Yeah.
Huh?
I said, or Pittsburgh over Philadelphia after that. I mean,
well, take your pick. Which one you want to talk about? Buffalo over Detroit or Pittsburgh over Philadelphia? Which one you want to talk about?
It's up to you. I mean, you already know why the Bills are going to win that game, because Detroit likes to go for it too much on 4th down, gives the other team too many possessions, and when you give an explosive offense too many extra possessions, ultimately they will end up beating you. In that other game, Pittsburgh, wow.
They're going to shut down. They're going to shut down Saquon.
Didn't say that.
I mean, I'm looking for your reasoning.
They will keep the game tight and close, and Jalen has a tendency to get confused in big games. It's funny how you're laughing because you know exactly what I'm talking about. Huh?
He said confused, like.
Because he laughed because you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Oh my goodness! He said he gets confused in the big games. Okay, so he can't handle the pressure, huh?
Yes, they can handle the pressure. I just said
that's what you said. He gets confused.
Gets that confused look on his face. And he said,
what do you call that? If that's not able to handle the pressure, what do you call it? How do you say that,
bro? I didn't ask you what I called it. You busted into laughter as soon as I said that.
Oh boy, okay.
What I'm talking about.
Well, fortunately, he has Saquon Barkley on the squad to kind of ease his pressures a little bit, to kind of relax him. Just hand the ball off, throw a swing route, hand the ball off. Obviously, going up against a formidable defense, they're at home. I think the Eagles, man, they got to get it right, because your guy Brown. I guess we're figuring out why AJ Brown, why the Tennessee Titans shipped him out of town. I mean, he can't just have anybody having success on the team. He doesn't apparently like it. Your guy was rushing for nearly 2,000 yards on the Titans, Derrick Henry. Brown didn't like. Well, he had Tiny Hill throwing to him, but he didn't like He didn't like the running back getting some shine, and now we're seeing the same thing with Saquon Barkley. He doesn't like it. Or it could be that confused look that Jalen Hurts gets in big games. There's something he's not liking there in Philadelphia. I don't know what it is. I can't put my finger on it, but they got to get that right. Cleveland said he gets confused in big games. Wow. I don't know. We'll see. That is going to be a good game. So that's another good big game this weekend. And obviously we got the Green Bay traveling to Seattle. They play historical games. Is Jalen Love not going to be up to it in your opinion?
If you can scroll up just a tad bit. Thanks. No. I don't think so. I mean, those guys are cool, man, but I think that the Seahawks are just kind of like have found a synergy, and I don't know what happened to that offensive line over the last 2 weeks, but that offensive line, if they bring the one they brought last week to this game, oh boy.
Is how's Walker looking this week? Are you? Ooh, that was my next question. Has Charbonnet taken over the number one spot in the backfield?
I mean, not just in so many words, but hey, man, if
he said, "Who cares?" That's what it sounded like to me.
Okay,
you rather see Charbonnet out there.
Well, here's how I'll put it, Cameron. Last week, the training staff was like, "Hey, man, are you sure you can't go, K-Dub?" He's like, "I can't go." I was like, "You sure now?" "Yeah, I'm sure." Okay. This week, they're gonna come to me about Thursday, Friday. Like, "Hey, how you feel?" "Okay, if you don't feel good, that's cool. That's cool. We're okay."
So you think they're gonna come to him this week and just say, "Hey, why don't you take another week off?"
Nope. They're gonna ask him, but if he says anything less than "I'm not sure," or like, I feel pretty good now. Yeah. Okay.
Ooh. He said, "Who cares?" when I asked him about K-Dub starting.
If Zach Charbonnet can run like that, oh boy, yeah.
So was Zach Charbonnet hitting the holes harder? So one thing I've noticed between Kenneth Walker, the one thing I didn't, and I think I mentioned this maybe a season ago, is there's a lot of sideline to sideline, a lot of juking, unnecessarily juking from Kenneth Walker. He doesn't just plant your foot and go. I think I mentioned this to you before, where Charbonnet doesn't have those juking skills. He's more of a straightforward. He's a bigger back. I didn't think this would carry over from UCLA to the NFL. That he takes hits, but he runs hard, and the guys bounce off of him. I didn't think that would carry over in the NFL. I thought that would be he'd be going down early. He can take a hit, and he runs. He hits a hole. I gotta give him credit where credit's due. He hits a hole, and then if there's an opening, he can burst by some people. And he's not afraid to take a hit, and I kind of like that in Charbonnet. Like I'm saying, I didn't think that would carry over from UCLA to the NFL. So let me ask you, Cleveland, you say you watch these games every week. Do you agree with my assessment of the two running backs, where Walker will try to juke some players when there's no need to juke and just hit the hole? If he just hits the hole, he can gain more yardage. Just hit the hole. Where Charbonnet doesn't have those juking abilities, he hits the hole and picks up extra yardage. Do you agree with that or not?
I understand where you're coming from with that philosophy and that assessment. But given the two running styles, I don't think that one was more effective than the other, given the way the offensive line has played up until last week.
So you don't think Charbonnet's running style is more conducive for the offensive line?
So here's what I'm saying. They both had the exact same running style and both had the exact same level.
They don't have the same running style. They don't have the same running style.
They both had the exact same running style that they have, individually different. However, they had the same result because the offensive line wasn't very good. So even if you have the scat back like Kenneth Walker III, not hitting the hole right away, but trying to bounce it out, no success. Even if you have the battering ram like Zach Charbonnet just trying to get up in the hole, there's no hole to be had. Last week, there was a hole to be had, and Zach Charbonnet exploited the hell out of it. I think Kenneth Walker III would have done exactly the same thing, except for perhaps even more explosive runs if the offensive line was blocking the way that they were blocking on Sunday. That being said, I think right now the hot hand do play fantasy E. And as a matter of fact, I'm the number 1 seed. Thanks so much for asking. I appreciate that, bro. Eric Martinez timing in. Yeah, I'm actually number 1 seed going into the playoffs. Got a bye this week, but we'll come back to that next week and chat about that. But no, Zach Charbonnet was hitting the hole, but there was a hole to be hit. Hole has not been there to be hit all season long.
Okay, so they saw the Cardinals for the second time, in 3 weeks. You think that had a difference in playing it? Because
no, not at all. I think they finally found a combination on the offensive line that meshed and gelled with each other, and they were able to just kind of do it, man. Almost like for the first time. It was crazy. It's crazy how they were opening holes for Zach Charbonnet. Open those same holes for Kenneth Walker. I think it's like even a more explosive game, but Zach Charbonnet doing what he's supposed to do, like filling in, I think 134 yards might be the most he ever rushes for in a game. I don't want to
Yeah, that was his career high. That was career high, but I don't know.
It's an awful lot of yards for Zach Charbonnet, man.
That's what I'm saying. His running style, and you're trying to say they have the exact same running style. They do not have the exact same.
I did not say that. I said they
ran.
You
said exactly
that. I corrected it, and then you don't listen, Cameron. I said they ran behind the exact same line, so they had 2 different running styles, and neither one of them were effective because the line wasn't very good. This time, the line was really, really good, so Zach Charbonnet got 134 yards. I think if the line was blocking the way they were for Zach Charbonnet, for Kenneth Walker III, he would have had an even bigger game.
Okay, so then that's kind of that explains it better. Huh?
Catch me that time.
No, you do. You laid a distinction before you said you were set on saying they had the same running style, which they don't. But you're saying if Walker was running and they blocked the the same way, he would have had a bigger game, is what you're saying. Well, I mean, that's I'm interested to see that again, because I think sometimes there's holes there that Walker doesn't hit because he's want to juke somebody when he should be hitting that hole like one cut and go. And I see him juke a lot. And I'm saying that Charbonnet doesn't have that elusive ability that Walker has, that sometimes Walker tries to use when he doesn't need to use it. And so him being able to hit those holes, that long touchdown run he had, did he get touched? That hole was so wide open, Charbonnet hit the hole and he just ran by everybody. I don't recall him getting touched. I'd have to again. I haven't been critiquing both the 2 running backs.
Yeah, but Cam, how you start your phrase up? That hole was so wide open. Haven't seen that all year,
and that's fair enough. But there have been open holes where Walker would try to bounce it outside instead of just bursting through the middle. There's been those holes. Those holes I can't say have been there when Walker just tried to bounce it outside instead of blowing through the hole. Blow through the hole, don't get touched, and you may go the distance or blow through the hole and juke that safety at 12 or 13 yards down the line and see what happens. He might try to bounce it outside and then try to use his speed to get around the corner. Well, now you're picking up 3 or 4 yards because you can only get past the defensive end, and then the cornerbacks and the safety are coming to collide on you. So I'm gonna have to look at that a little bit more closely, especially now that I've seen Charbonnet again. I wasn't a big fan of Charbonnet coming out of college, so when he does something impressive, it catches my eye. When he has a big game like that, I was like, oh, he has that. So that's the difference I see. I see, and we'll see about next week if Walker should play or not. That'll be interesting. A nice telltale. So yeah, so we looked at here's our week coming up here. How do you got at Las Vegas going to Atlanta? Atlanta going to the Raiders. The Raiders aren't trying to win any games. The Raiders are playing for that number 1 pick. They're playing for Shador.
I feel a revenge game coming on from Desmond Ridder.
Really? I think if he has a good half, they're going to pull him. They might put Brock Bowers at quarterback in the second half of the game.
And the Las Vegas Raiders are just silly enough, to do something like win this game and have the Giants get the number 1 pick.
No, they're playing. Did you see that Dion and your boy Pierce were at some convention? And he's like, yeah, I want you better be looking at Shador. I know you guys are going to pick him, right? So they're really trying to tank for. It appears that they're really trying to tank for.
Well, I'm not 100% sure Antonio Pierce is going to be there next year.
Going to be around.
Yeah.
You think Tom Brady's going to start pulling some things?
You don't really have that type of influence unless you're trying to throw games. In which case, hey, NFL, let's take a look at this tampering. What's going on here?
Dion is not. It's no tampering going on. Dion not a part of the NFL.
Are you throwing games?
Well, throwing games.
You're trying not to win because I'm sure Desmond Ridder didn't like the way that ended.
He said a Desmond Ridder comeback.
Okay. I don't know. Max Crosby is in second. It's in second place for Defensive Player of the Year this season.
Max Crosby is going to come down with an ankle injury, an oblique injury, or so. He's going to have some kind of back spasm over the next 3 weeks.
Wow.
Yeah, there's going to be something.
It's like that.
I'm telling you, bro. Watch what I tell you. Here's our confidence picks for this week. I got KC. I'm mildly confident that they're going to win the game. Washington, Houston, the Chargers, and Baltimore. You got Washington. You really feel good about Washington, Baltimore. You got Miami beating Houston. I don't know. That's a farce. Look at you taking Bo Nix. Look at Bo Nix. You like Bo Nix. He's coming around, huh? Oh, what? You just had to take somebody? Is that what you're gonna tell us?
Just had to take somebody, and the Broncos just happened to be there on the schedule.
Okay, I hear that. Fans, now I want you guys to look at this. I want you guys to look closely at this. Let me remove this here, and remove this. No, I'm trying to remove that. Stop screen. Okay, here. I want you guys to see this right here. How's your fantasy team doing, Cleveland?
My fantasy team is doing fantastic. Thanks so much for asking, Cameron. Number 1 seed in the league, get the first round bye.
Only one team gets a bye in your league?
I don't pay attention to all the other teams that are going on. Just what I'm doing.
Oh yeah, just what you're doing. That's interesting. I mean, you probably should pay attention to your competition, don't you think?
I mean, not necessarily. Not till next week. I got to buy this week. Don't matter.
You got to buy this week. Cleveland, Well, can you see what I'm seeing?
No.
So, Eric, yeah, we do play fantasy football. We got a fantasy football league, Voice of the Fans Fantasy Football League. If you're interested in playing, man, shoot me your information and we can get you in next year. But yeah, this is what our teams look like this season right here. Hold on, let me get this right so I can help you guys out so you can see it a little bit better. Here we go. This is what show enough 10-4. 10-4. Oh, look at that. He has a bye. Young Sam, 10-4. He also has a bye. Let's look at the league. Let's look at the league standings. This is week 15. How do I find where's the league standings? I want to see the league standings right quick. Eric. So since you asked, Eric, this isn't going to show me my league standings like I want to see them.
Well, it shows it right there. I'm the number 1 seed in the league. I mean, what else do you need to see? Everything else, the season's over. We're in the playoffs now.
I guess that's why I can't.
Yeah,
see
yeah. Our fans don't need to be static to death, homie, about some stuff that happened in the regular season because now we're in the playoffs.
Here we go. The standings right there. Can you guys see that? Can you see this right here?
So not the most points in the league, but more points than you. Thanks.
Less than 10 points. You got less than 10 points. I've given up less points. My defense is better.
So more points than you. Thanks. Currently,
I lost one game by.
Currently on a 3-game winning streak. Yeah,
I lost one game a couple weeks ago, fans.
The longest win
under a point
of the season, as we end the season. But who cares? We're in the playoffs.
Andy has a 3-game winning streak too. He's nipping at your heels.
Okay, so yeah, as I said, the longest winning streak to speak of right now.
Well, I'm on a buy too. Since you want to say I'm on a buy, I'm on a buy. I'm on a buy as well. Okay. And then I got NWA.
Okay, but you already said you don't like it when you're on a bye because your team loses momentum and you don't know what to do, and you're just not the same team when you come out the bye.
Yeah, I don't like the rest. I don't like.
I'm coming out bigger, stronger, faster, more determined.
I don't like the rest factor. Again, Patrick Mahomes, we don't need a rest. Jefferson, we're ready to go. Jordan Addison, what do we need a rest for? Jameer Gibbs.
And Buffalo, Pollard against Cincinnati, yeah, yeah. And then
we need to play Aaron Jones. What are we resting about for?
You might be the leading scorer in the league this week.
You got jokes. I don't need a rest.
It make no difference. My team needs this rest. Needs to get recalculated, refocused. That's all.
I'm ready to. We're ready to play. We don't need a week off. Oh, Jared Goff. Yeah, that's right. You might want to rest, little hands. Jameis Wilson, Khalil Shakir. Oh, you saw Shakir bursting through the Rams offense. Oh, you like that, huh? Bursting through the Rams defense. How'd you get Bijan? When did you take him? Garindo. Oh yeah, you hoping he is the trainer's room, huh? Him and Kittles hit the trainer's room. So yeah, you guys are broken up. You guys do need a rest. I see why you say that. You guys need a rest here. Yeah. Brock Purdy needs to rest. Caleb, you still got him all season long. Has he gotten a game anytime this season? Has he gotten a game all year? Does he have any minutes played all season long? I'm curious to know. You don't want to say, huh? You don't want to talk about it, huh? I wouldn't want to talk about that pickup either. I wouldn't want to talk about that either. So here's our matchup this week. Again, we are on a bye, Eric, since you want to know. Here's a matchup. NWA snuck into the playoffs, and America's team snuck into the playoff. Boy, he's been a nemesis right there. Team Machine got in there too. Look at that. Team Machine get in there.
And fans, if you notice, the other teams that don't get a bye are all 8-6. That's crazy.
I mean, there was a between third and eighth place. Look, there was a 1 game separation from those 6 teams. There was 1 game separation. Ah, man, if I didn't lose that game by 1 point a couple weeks ago, this conversation would be completely different. One sticking point, the conversation would be completely different. So yeah, Eric, we do play fantasy football. Yeah, we do play fantasy football, Eric. Thanks for asking. Oh my goodness, Cleveland, you love it. So Cleveland, I don't know what's happening right. Well, I don't know what happened. I lost my feed, but let me see if I can get it back on here. Your guy Trey Young did his thing today in New York to get his team to the in-season tournament. These games seem to be playing. I have to admit, they've been kind of must-see, must-watch games. We're seeing a tough battle here in Houston. 89. Golden State is up 89 to Houston's 82 points with 3.5 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. So this is a hotly test. Here, of course. Şengün is driving to the hole, and who you suspect grabs him with 2 arms, grabs him both arms and drags him to the ground. Who would you think did that, Cleveland?
Man, I would suspect that sounds like a Draymond Green type of offense.
Man, yeah, and so they're looking at it right now. I mean, that's not even a basketball play. Şengün pumps fake him at the top of the key and goes to the hole, and then he just gets drugged down like a horse collar tackle. I mean, come on, Draymond. 3 minutes to go, like, dude, he's trying to prevent a shot from going up, I guess. But come on, Draymond. Come on, gee whiz. But last night we had the Thunder beat the Mavericks. Did you see that game, Cleveland?
I did not see that game, Cameron. Heard about it. Good win for the Thunder.
I mean, they showed why they're going to win in the NBA championship this season.
You can't really show that in the 40th game of the season, but it was
again. This is I don't need to wait until the sun comes out to tell me the sun is out. I can see that. Well, I don't know. It doesn't look like
that connotation doesn't really apply to the NBA championship window and how you win NBA championships, Cameron. You did read my manifesto last year, right?
Well, there's a lot of so they didn't throw Draymond out. He's still out there. They didn't throw him out. But so the Thunder, Cleveland is blind to see that they have everything you need. They have scoring, they have defense, they have rebounding, they have toughness. They got everything you need. Cleveland just is afraid to admit it. They had
effort.
They're gonna have the league's MVP. SGA is winning the MVP. Is that a dude?
I believe they have the number one screen setting effectiveness in the league right this.
And they have the number one defense. They have the MVP. They're going to have the MVP. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander will win the MVP this season.
I'm so sorry. You haven't seen Nikola Jokic's numbers, right?
Shai Gilgeous-Alexander will have the. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander will be the West. Will have the number one seed in the Western Conference.
I know the way you like to stab people to death. Can I share Nikola Jokic's numbers with you?
Yeah. Did they win or lose?
His season average this year so far, and the season hasn't really. It's not over.
Yeah, it's just beginning. It's early.
It's just beginning.
Yeah, it's early. We're in December. The season only started 6 weeks ago.
So 32 and 13 and 10.
Mm-hmm. 32, 13 and 10. What's their record? What seed are they? They're not the number one seed in the Western Conference.
He's averaging a triple-double.
What seed are they? What number are they?
At the center position.
Are they the number one seed in the Western Conference?
13 and 10.
Are they the number one seed, or are they? They're probably the number. They're probably fighting for number 6 seed.
And then we'll look up your guards numbers over there in Oklahoma City.
Yeah, make sure you identify what seed they're in. I see you ignored when I asked you what seed was Jokic in. You didn't want to answer that question.
I'm ignoring it because it's not
because
even.
They're 12 and 10. They're just barely above 500 against OKC, who's 19 and 5.
5 and 6.
Yeah, OKC is 19 and 5. Denver has lost twice as many games.
Less points, less rebounds, less assists.
5 more wins. Denver has lost twice as many.
Less assists from the center of the other team.
Denver has lost twice as many games as OKC. How that doesn't matter, I don't know. What you want to say a number? You want to say the MVP? When has the MVP? When has it, Cleveland, in your history of watching basketball? When has the MVP come from a number 7 seed? Give me a break. Stop being blind. There is 7 seed in the Western Conference.
Being blind. How's averaging a triple double from the center position not make you the most valuable player in the league?
They're the 7th seed, Cleveland. Compared to the best guy,
fans, I'm not going to stat you to death, but I guarantee
you just did. You just trying to use stats to give you.
But I guarantee you, a center has never averaged a triple double,
and that's irrelevant. That is totally irrelevant. That is totally irrelevant.
At one time in 1972.
Your guy Wilt. Your guy Wilt did it, didn't he? Do it. Wilt had to do it. You like to go to Wilt all the time. You will have to do it.
Didn't have to do it. I mean, averaging a triple double. I mean, it's Oscar Robertson's the only person that's ever averaged a triple double. You remember that, right?
No, I think Russell did.
And then Russell Westbrook came along, and I think just 9.996, and they just rounded it up. But yeah, which one of those guys were 7-footers?
Which one of those teams are 12 and 10? Or which one of the teams are 19 and 5?
Yeah, I forgot. You're not really all in.
One team won 80% of their games versus the other team is hovering around 50%.
So much better with the football, man, and it shows.
Yeah, okay. OKC example. Another reason that they're going to win the MVP or the NBA championship is averaging 12.3 steals a game. Cleveland, that's the 3rd best number in history, NBA, the league history.
Oh wow, that's amazing, man! So tenacious on that defensive side of the ball.
You for whatever reason you want to discount the defensive side of the ball, which is hysterical to me because according to your manifesto, everything's all offense. So if somebody plays any lick of defense, they should get credit for that. They should get credit for that.
They can't be stopped.
Mm-hmm. Which is that's bananas to me. How nobody plays no defense. Nobody gets credit for playing defense according to Cleveland. That's bananas to me. Nonetheless, we got the Rockers and the Warriors now going down to crunch time for their chance to play in Vegas. The Bucks beat the Magic, and I took the Magic. I had the Magic winning that game against the Bucks, but I made that prediction before I knew the Wagner brother was going to go out with an oblique, so they missing 2 of their primetime players.
Oh no, a Wagner brother.
I mean, they missing Paulo and the Wagner brother. They were killing. Now they're down both of them.
That's a lot to do, for real.
And then I did have the Knicks beating the Hawks, but the Hawks served them. You want to talk about your boy Trey? What's going on there?
Love him. Oh, no. That's Trey, the boogie monster.
You picked those guys either. So I will say I was prepared to talk about tonight. I was prepared to talk about the draft, to kind of recap the draft between Julius Randle and Karl Anthony Thompson. But Cat is killing. The Knicks are, until they lost tonight, I was prepared to give Cat some praise, and then he does. The Knicks lose to the Hawks again, which is kind of incredible. Would you agree with me that the Knicks won that trade?
I think it's too early to say. I mean, Karl Anthony Towns has been playing, incredible. He's embraced New York through.
They embraced him, Karl Anthony Towns. They embraced him as well
through mid-December.
Okay. The Spurs. Chris Paul passes. Who'd he pass for second on the list all-time NBA career assists? Who'd he pass?
Passed either John Stockton or Mark Jackson.
Mark Jackson? Is he that high up there? No, it was Jason Kidd. John Stockton is number one.
Okay.
He passed Jason Kidd.
I think Mark Jackson was fourth then, but okay. Yeah.
So you all ready for? So we got 45 seconds. Golden State is up by 3 points. Houston with the ball. Houston is driving, and they looked to kick out, but that might have been a travel. Somebody Thompson pulls a three. They missed it. No, you go for why you block the ball? Looks like they called a timeout. They're gonna give it to Houston. That looked like it was out of that looked like it was out on Houston. But it's a 3-point game. I guess Houston still has the ball because you may call a timeout. But 32 seconds to go. Close game. 3-point game in Houston. And the Warriors are gasping for air right now. So we see that's going to be an interesting finish in Houston, like I said. Cleveland, I got some trivia for you. Before we get to the trivia, let's talk about this week in history, though. 12/12/1872, African-American inventor George Grant patents a golf tee, Cleveland. So every time you swing a golf tee, you got to think of George Grant who patented that thing. 12/12.
So the golfing community is not aware of that.
I bet they aren't either. 12/12/1995. William Brown defeats incumbent mayor Frank Jordan to become the first African mayor of San Francisco. 12/13/1996. Kofi Annan is elected as Secretary General of the United Nations and become the first African nation, the first from an African nation to be elected to the position. 12/11/1872. PBS Pinbach is sworn in as governor of Louisiana, becoming the first African American to become governor of a U.S. state.
Oh, wow.
1-point game, 22 seconds to go. Curry has the ball, obviously, up court, being tightly defended out on the wing. He drives, steps back for the three, Curry does. Oh, and it's off. Oh, man. Golden State. Rockets had a chance to get the ball. Rockets got the ball back with 3.5 on the clock. There probably should be 4 seconds on the clock. Rockets had a chance to get the ball, but it squirted away. They're calling a foul? Wait, they're calling a foul. I didn't understand who they call a foul on. Steve Kerr has his hands in the air like, are you kidding? You call it on us? It should have been Rockets' ball. I saw the ball bounce around. So the ball bounces out. 2 men fall on the ball. What's his name? Got the ball. Buddy Hield got the ball. He tried to pass it before he got fouled. Oh, they called a foul on the Warriors. Green goes to the line, so they called a foul. Oh, Kuminga grabs the dude when he's trying to call timeout, and they called a foul instead of the timeout. Wow. Kuminga tried to grab the guy. Green was calling for a timeout on the ground after the scramble. Kuminga grabbed him. Green goes to the line and hit down both free throws, and the Houston Rockets are up by 1 against the Golden State Warriors. Oh, there's a little talking, a little chest bumping, there's a little trash talking. This is a feisty game in Houston right now. But Jalen Green went to the line, hit 2 free throws, down by 1 with 3.5 seconds on the clock to put the Houston Rockets up by 1. And so right now it's a timeout. The Golden State Warriors are down by 1 point, 3.5 seconds to go. And what is this? The end season? This is the play-in tournament, I guess, to see who goes to Vegas this weekend. Interesting scenario. I mean, is there any doubt who's getting the ball right here? Is there any doubt whatsoever how they're going to shake Steph Curry free? And how does Ime Udoka, how do you play this? Do you switch? Do you just say, Green, you got him, don't leave Curry, whatever happens, double team him? Because you know they're going to run a switch or run a screen for Curry to get open. Likely Draymond is going to be the screen man. This is wild. This is why Houston Rockets are up by 1 point with 3.5 seconds to go. Steve Kerr still got his clipboard, so he might call a timeout here to kind of, see what they're going to do. Or they're going to let it play. They got number 2. That's not Przewski throwing the ball in? Here we go. Here goes. They can't get the ball. They give. Przewski. They give it to Przewski, and he gets blocked. And they passed it to Curry. Curry passed it back to Przewski, and Przewski get his shot blocked. And the Houston Rockets are going to the in-season tournament over the Warriors. Curry, why'd you pass the ball, bro? What? I didn't understand why Curry passed the ball. Like, he didn't have a great shot at it, but I expected him to throw it up. Houston Rockets, excuse me, fans, but I just want to give you guys a rundown on what's going on there. Houston Rockets defeat the Golden State Warriors to go to Vegas for the in-season tournament, where they're going to play the Oklahoma City Thunder, who Oklahoma City now will advance to the finals, and they're likely going to win this thing. Cleveland.
Hey, slow down. They have a game to play in Las Vegas to get to.
Yeah, they have a game to play, but come on, Houston.
Game in front of them.
Can I get an apology right now? I was ahead of the game last year. I said Houston deserved to be in the playoff based on talent alone.
You're wrong.
The question was, can Ime Udoka coach those guys up to be the difference to get them into the playoffs?
And the answer was no.
It didn't happen. I was a year ahead of time. I was a year ahead of it. So now the Houston Rockets are in the in-season tournament. What is the Houston Rockets record right now? 16-8. They're number 3 in the Western Conference. That looks like a playoff team to me. That looks like, so I was ahead of the game. I was a year ahead of time. But I said the Houston Rockets have enough talent. And one thing we didn't talk about in NBA, I'm gonna get back to our to my This Week in History. One thing we did not talk about involved the NBA, Cleveland, is Jimmy Butler. Now, we talked about this last year when last offseason when Pat Riley said, if you're not playing, maybe you shouldn't say anything about what's going on the team, right? We knew that pretty much was the end of Jimmy Butler in Miami. We knew that, right? Because they're not seeing eye to eye. Jimmy Butler's not going to win over Pat Riley. Now, it comes out earlier this week that Jimmy Butler, Miami is fielding offers, and Jimmy Butler says, yeah, I'll go to Dallas, Houston, Golden State, or the Suns. What is the best fit for Jimmy Butler?
The Phoenix Suns.
The Phoenix Suns, they're gonna have to give up one of those guys, Booker, Beal, or Durant. I don't think they're giving up Booker. They're not giving up Durant.
Well, Bradley Beal can go.
Does Miami? If you're Miami, you want Bradley Beal?
Take the
You
salary.
You already got
Take on the
Hero.
salary. Sure.
You already got Hero. You got a Hero playing.
Take on the salary for sure.
Huh?
Yeah, you'll take on the salary for sure.
That 50. I mean, is half a dozen of one, half a dozen of one, six of another. Because Butler is going to command 52. Bill is going to get paid 52 next year. I don't know. I don't. If I'm Houston, I'm not interested. I hang up the phone if I see the 305 calling me. I hang up the phone. I don't even answer the phone. In fact, Golden State,
a number 3 seed, and you get Jimmy Butler. Oh,
no,
okay.
I don't need Jimmy Butler's.
You absolutely need Jimmy Butler's attitude and effort.
No, so that worked. That worked in Philadelphia. I would have took it in Philadelphia. I would have took it in Minnesota. Now he's older. Now he's not that. He doesn't have the same gravitas as he had 3 years ago, 5 years ago when he was carrying on. He doesn't have that same gravitas. I don't need that in Houston. I'm letting these young kids cook. I need a veteran would be nice, yes, but not Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler comes with too much.
Not in 2-time finals.
Butler,
not
at this age.
Jimmy.
If this was 2024, if this was 2019, if this is 2019, Jimmy, I'm all for it. This is not 2019 Jimmy. I'm not interested in this.
Jimmy is not even the Jimmy that is the Jimmy that we're talking about.
No, I mean, he went to the finals in 2020. So
and again in when?
Did he go? Did they go? I think they went like 18 and then 20. Have they been to? They haven't been. Miami Heat hasn't been to the finals since then.
Oh yeah. That's who the Joker took out.
When is that? 21. Well, no. The Miami didn't go back and forth. Miami didn't go back to back finals.
23.
Huh?
23.
If I'm Houston, I don't answer the phone. I don't answer the phone. I can see him going to Golden State. I can see how that could work. How you put Jimmy with Steph and you put Jimmy with Steph.
Jimmy and Draymond in the same room every day.
I know.
Hey,
they made it work with Chris Paul. Because
Chris Paul's not there anymore.
But they made it work with Chris Paul. Jimmy is better than Chris Paul.
They didn't make it work because they didn't make the playoffs, and B, Chris Paul's not there anymore. So it didn't work.
Jimmy's better than Chris Paul. Right? He would be.
It's not a good fit. You're already saying it's not a good fit.
That's a vet more veteran squad.
It's not a good fit. It's not a good fit.
I don't know. That's a better fit than I think that's a better fit than Houston. And the Suns, I can see it working. I can see the Suns making that move, but I mean they're just treading water at that point. I mean they're just treading.
They're treading water with Devin Booker and Jimmy Butler and Kevin Durant.
I don't. I mean, if they want to do it, I mean, I understand why they would do it, but
okay. Well, going to the Dallas Mavericks is not a good idea because Kyrie and Luka need the ball too much.
Right. Agreed. So yeah, you're right. It was 2020 that they went to the Heat went to the finals, and then it was 2023. Yeah, I don't know that I don't know. You think where you think would be the best fit for Jimmy? I haven't heard you mention where you thought you think Houston would work.
For me, it would be Minnesota or New York.
He was in Minnesota. He was in Minnesota,
but Anthony Edwards wasn't there the last time he was there, and he was in. Or the other problem with going to New York is that he already played with Karl Anthony Towns, and Karl Anthony Towns doesn't like him. He's scared of him, so that's not a good
move. Karl Anthony Towns is grown now. I don't know. I don't think. I mean, I don't. So you play him instead of Josh Hart at the 2, I guess. As a 2 or the 3, 2 or 3. McBride.
Yeah, you sure do.
Him and McBride.
Jimmy Butler at the 2 instead of Josh Hart.
Yeah, send him to New York and watch that thing fizzle. That thing's gonna blow up like alcohol and baking soda.
I don't recall Pat Riley saying that I'm just going to give him away. He just said
right
available. So
yeah.
all your bullshit trades, no, I didn't say that. I didn't say we just want to get him out of town. But hey, if you got something, holler at me.
Houston has the best package, probably
Houston
the best
has the best opportunity with regards to picks and players to acquire him. Yeah.
Houston does. I don't think Golden State has. I mean, they can give him Kuminga and some other Kuminga and Gary Payton a second, and
See again, Cameron. Basketball's not your strong suit, man. You be trying to put these.
I'm just saying that's what they have. What else does Golden State have to offer?
We'll give him Kuminga and Gary Payton a second.
I mean, that's all they have to offer, though. That's what I'm saying. New York can at least give them OG Anunoby. Like, I wouldn't want to separate OG Anunoby, Josh Hart, and I mean Trey McBride. I mean that's probably the 3 you get for Jimmy in Miami. But then why would you want to send those guys to those 3 that I mentioned to Miami, make them better? You're getting 3 for 1, and you're just getting that guy. I don't know that Jimmy is that difference maker. Maybe he is. Maybe he would be because he don't have to handle the ball. He gets Karl-Anthony Towns. Now he has Brunson who can feed him the ball. Maybe he becomes that difference maker in New York. I don't know. I'd be shocked.
Don't worry about that because again, Karl-Anthony Towns is afraid of him, so that he's not going to New
York. Maybe he toughened up though since then. Maybe he's toughened up since then. He's been feeling himself in New York now here recently. Maybe he's been feeling himself. So I don't know. Yeah, and I'm Kyrie and Kevin. Do you send Klay Thompson and what is the center name? Not Lively, but the what's the other guy's name? Gee whiz. Gafford. Do you see send Thompson and Gafford to Miami for Jimmy? Would you do that?
Not if you're the Miami Heat. Why? What? No.
You wouldn't do that now you're just trying to get rid addition by subtraction. I don't know. I'm not. There's nothing that really excites me about Jimmy Butler right at this point in his career. But I had to bring that up to you in the end of this game here. Back to this week in history. 12/10/1964 Nobel Peace Prize went to Dr. Martin Luther King in Oslo, Norway. 12/10/2016. 82nd Heisman Trophy winner went to a 19-year-old player from Louisville. Who was that player?
Mark Jackson.
12/10/1968. Never mind. Joe Frazier beats Oscar Bonavena. Did you see that fight, Cleavon? Or you don't watch those heavyweight bouts. You don't like that. That's right. 12/10/1984. South African Archbishop Desmond Tutu is presented with the Nobel Peace Prize. Steve Kerr is fired up. I love to hear his press conference right now. He's hot, boy. He's red. Steve Kerr is fired up. 12/11/1981. Another fight you probably missed. Muhammad Ali fought for the final time in his legendary boxing career. He lost to Trevor Burbick in 10 rounds by unanimous decision. I know you didn't see that fight. 12/10/2009. United States President Barack Obama accepts the Nobel Peace Prize. Cleveland, there's another where were you moment. 12/10/1978. Superman the movie was released, directed by Richard Donner, starring Christopher Reeves, Marlon Brando, Gene Hackman, and Margot Kidder. Where were you? Where'd you first see that movie at?
Man, I'm gonna have to
Do
say.
you remember? Do you remember seeing that movie?
I do remember seeing it. I'm gonna have to say UA 75 down there for Denny.
Okay, I remember being this is 1978. So my mom had the big Oldsmobile. 4 of us in the front seat of the Oldsmobile watching the movie at the drive-in theater. It was Superman, and I want to see Halloween. I want to say Halloween, but it was a double feature. You used to go to the drive-in and get the 2 movies. So my sister's in the pajamas. We put her in the back seat by the time the movie was over. So it's just me, my brother, and my mom into Superman. Boy, that movie was that was such a fun movie back in the day, obviously. I don't know. Have you tried to watch it in the last 10 years?
I mean, obviously cinematography and all that stuff is
Yeah, I know it's different, but I'm just saying, have you tried to watch it though? Have you tried to watch it?
I don't think so. I mean,
I actually watched it within the last 3 months. I saw it was on, and I caught the part where Gene Hackman had him in the basement and put the kryptonite around his neck. Like the movie, it changes. I remember what happened because you've seen it a dozen times, right? But it doesn't quite hold up. It doesn't quite hold up just because everything is way more advanced than it was in 1978. Nonetheless, I've watched it. I must have watched at least from halfway. That had to be halfway through the movie, right? When Gene Hackman put the thing around his neck.
It's about 3/4. Yeah, about 3/4.
I mean, it was
when they go down there to the bank vault and he opens up the chest
yeah. So you remember the movie?
Yeah.
12/10, 1983. The last NFL game at Shea Stadium was played with the Steelers defeating the Jets 34-7. What do you remember about that game? Do you remember anything about that game? Do you remember? Like, I remember vividly watching this game on TV.
I can't remember vividly watching the game on TV.
I remember watching this game vividly. The Jets had benches. They didn't have seats. They had benches in the stadium. And the fans were breaking the benches, walking out of the stadium with full-on benches out of the stadium because their Jets were getting blown out. So you see the fans in the early fourth quarter had ripped up the benches, and they're walking out of the stadium with pieces of the bench out of the stadium. That was I was like, damn, it was wild in New York. Dog, they literally were walking out of the stadium with, and they're like, well, they must want some souvenirs or some memorabilia to surround the stadium because this is the last game of the stadium. So the Jets fans helped dismantle the stadium for the contractors who would come to tear it down. Shea Stadium. That was why I remember that vividly. Well, I meant to look up this game. I meant to look up this game here. Damn it, I don't have time. Not gonna do it now. 12/8/2000. I'm gonna have to text you. Shaq goes 0-for-11 versus the Sonics from the free throw line. 0-for-11. He broke somebody else's record from the free throw line who went 0-for-10. Who was that?
It's Will Chamberlain.
Yeah. 0-for-11. Crazy. Steve Kerr still fired. He's still going off on the press conference. Steve Kerr is still going off. Cleveland, a couple more trivia questions for you. 2 more trivia questions for you, Cleveland. I know you 90s football. You familiar with football, NFL in 1990s?
Yeah.
Which defensive back had the most interceptions in the 1990s?
Deion Sanders.
I knew you'd go there. Wrong. Did they throw to Deion like that? Did they throw to his side like that?
Eric Allen.
No, Cleveland. The guy I keep telling you was the best defensive back to ever play the game.
Aeneas Williams.
Did he play in the 90s?
Yeah.
No. Rod Woodson. Come on, Rod Woodson. Get it together. You follow the show, man. You should have known the answer to that one. Most TD. Who had the most TD thrown without reaching the playoffs? Which quarterback had the most touchdown thrown without reaching the playoffs? This spins off of Joe Burrow's season that he's having. The one game separates the number 1 and number 2 guy. Joe Burrow's at 37. I'll give you. I think he's number 3 at 37.
Phillip Rivers.
Most TDs, Cleveland, in a season without reaching the touchdown without reaching the playoffs? No, Phillip Rivers is not the answer. Oh, did Phillip? No, he's not the answer. I don't think Phillip Rivers. No, he's not.
Drew Bledsoe.
That was a good guess. That was a much better guess. No, the answer, number 2 guy, is Drew Brees. In 2012, he threw 43 touchdown passes, didn't make the playoffs. There's one guy ahead of him. You're thinking too hard.
I have to go Golden Arm Dan Marino with that one.
Dan Marino in 1986 threw 44 touchdown passes. They did not make the playoffs. Cleveland, 12-7. I told you. Who did I tell you had the album coming out this weekend? Told you earlier they have an album.
Snoop and Dre.
12/7/2001. The Chronic was released. Where did you buy your CD, Cleveland?
Oh, good Lord! I
know exactly.
I want to say Tower Records.
Oh man, I know. 2001, we were in LA. I've been in LA a couple years. It was like 5 of us. Everybody went to go buy the same CD. That's the first time I can remember everybody buying the same CD. Because before, I'd never done that before. Usually, you buy the CD, right? You buy one CD, I'll buy a different CD, and then we dub the CD. We dub the tape, right? We mix it, right? Everybody wanted their own copy. Everybody wanted their own copy of the Chronic. After hearing it, we raced to the store. Everybody wanted their own copy. There was no question. Yeah. I remember that, bro. We bumped that thing we bumped that thing. Oh man, the Chronic. So I'm not expecting the Chronic, but I gotta hear what Snoop and Dre come up with. And I've heard some songs. They were on Drink Champs a couple maybe a week ago. I don't know if you listen to Drink Champs. Do you listen to Drink Champs with Nori and DJ FNN?
Every once in a while.
Yeah, they had them on there. They played some cuts. They played some cuts. They had a couple bangers. What they played anyway. But I'm eager to hear the whole thing. But yeah, the Chronic. That was usually that was the first time everybody I was with. It was like 5 of us went and bought our own copy of the CD because there was none of that trading shit. None of that. I'll get it from you next week. No, it was none of that. What do you think about the tournament, the bracket? Game start this weekend. What do you think about it? You like it? Was it fair? SMU keeping SMU out, or keeping SMU out?
We're talking about college football playoffs.
Yeah, college football. Yeah, the playoff bracket. Yeah.
That's not this weekend. Next weekend.
Is it? I'm sorry. Yeah, my bad. I thought on the 20th. Yeah, that's right. Round 1.
SMU actually made it. It's Miami and Alabama.
That's what I was saying. What did I say? I thought SMU went in. I thought I said it. SMU went in over Alabama. Are you good with it?
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Are you good with the breakdown? Now that you've seen the bracket, have you seen the bracket? Now that you've seen the bracket,
yeah, I've taken a few glimpses at it. Yeah.
Who do you got winning it all? Can Oregon come through the bracket?
As the number 1 seed, I think they have probably the best chance of doing that because I like the way that those initial games are.
They have to play Texas or yeah, they have to play Clemson or Texas, right? Yeah, if they win. So who do you got winning? Do you have a prediction, or you want to wait? You only got 1 week. You want to wait to the prediction, or wait till next week to make a prediction?
As to who's going to win the national championship?
Correct.
No, I'll wait till after at least those first round games are done.
Well, you can't wait till the first round games are done. You can't wait for the tournament starts to make your pick and who's going to win the tournament.
Yeah, I certainly can do that because there's 4 teams that get a bye, right? And then everyone else plays each other, and we'll see what the war of attrition looks like.
Boise State, Austin Genty, Colorado University, Travis Hunter, Canes, Cam Ward, Duke's Dylan Gabriel will be in New York for the Heisman Trophy ceremony.
Oregon's Dylan Gabriel, correct?
Oh, did I have it wrong? Oregon Gabriel, my bad. Dylan Gabriel. Did I have that? Yeah, I had the 4 wrong. Who do you have winning?
Travis Hunter.
Should the rest of the guys even show up?
No. I mean, to go to New York and hang out and be in that room with all those other Heisman Trophy winners, yeah, that's going to be a treat. But not if you're expecting to win. No.
Don't write a speech.
No, don't write a speech. Enjoy it and hang out with those other guys.
Okay. Ohio proposing law to ban flag planting. You like that?
I like the fact that they're doing that, which just shows how bitter they are that Michigan that they have to make a law about it. Yeah, that's corny.
Win a game. Tiger to play in the PNC tournament with the Sun. You looking forward to that? You gonna tune in for that? I mentioned earlier Emmanuel Navarrete, now 31-2 or 39-2, excuse me, 32 KOs, TKO'd Oscar Valdez with a rabbit punch to the side. Body blow dropped him. That was a good fight. I think it was in the 6th round. It was a decent fight as long as it lasted. But they 2 Mexicans going at it. Mexicans brawl, so it was good as long as it lasted. But he got him with a body blow and he went down and didn't get back up. So a few years ago, Cleveland, Juan Soto turned down 15 years, $440 million from the Nationals. Everybody thought he was nuts, right? He just signed 15 years, $765 with the Mets. Are you now? I know you're not New York. New York Yankee fans are kind of upset at Juan Santo. I haven't seen anybody burn his jersey, but I heard a lot of cussing him out. There were a lot of people cussing him out. How do you feel about him signing with the Mets? Was that a good deal? Good signing? What's your thoughts on him going from the Yankees to the Mets?
Great signing for him, and in addition, he has some out clauses in the contract, so that if he outperforms the contract, he can renegotiate it when he's at the peak of his powers. And if not, he can just ride out the $50 million a year for 15 years. Those long contracts never, ever work out for the team. It's always in the best interest of the player. I mean, we can look around to Pujols, Mike Trout, Miguel Cabrera. I think the only time it's ever really worked is with Alex Rodriguez. And ironically, in the middle of that, he actually re-upped it. So it was 5 years in and then another 10. So yeah, those contracts are just way too long. You're never, as a team, you're never going to get the value of the contract.
So why do it?
because it locks up that talent at that price range for that long. That's the other thing, right? So if you have a premier player, like if it goes 9 years, you're happy, right?
You win.
Because you're getting like someone like at the tip top of their game for like 9 years at locked in at that rate, and then the last couple of years is kind of like, I'm kind of like. But by that time, the market has increased so dramatically that it's kind of like you're kind of in the middle of salary.
Right, evens it out.
But at the same time, it's just like it's just too long. No one can ever live up to that length of a contract.
So does this make the Mets made the division round last year, right?
No, they were in the National League Championship. They lost to the Dodgers.
So did it get them over the hump?
Hard to say. I thought they overachieved quite a bit last year and kind of had some.
I mean, we were at the game when they hit Lindor hit that. I mean, home run within the bottom of the ninth.
I mean, that was like what, like to get in. I mean, I mean, they had a lot of things kind of happen that were kind of.
But you team him with Lindor, you team him with Pete Alonso.
Pete Alonso's free agent.
Oh, well, no, they say they want to sign him. I mean, obviously, they saying that and doing that.
They do. Different. I mean, but they also said that last time, right? When they added Verlander and Scherzer. So,
well, hold on. Didn't Pete hit the game-winning home run too?
I believe he did hit one. It wasn't against Philadelphia. I think it was against Atlanta. So, yeah. So, I mean, does that get them over the hump? Quite possibly. Juan Soto is an incredible talent.
I mean, we know he's not Shohei, so we know he's not Shohei or Mookie. So, New York, the Yankees went and signed Max Fried. Is that is 8-year 218? That just sounds kind of chump changes. Right? They're like, okay, here, we'll give you this 8-year for 218. Is that a decent recovery?
I mean, yeah, if you're filling holes, because now you have all this extra money to fill holes, right? So, I mean, think of it this way: they're getting a player for half as long for $500 million less, right? And it's so. It adds to the rotation with Garrett Cole. I mean, you're never going to find a replacement for Juan Soto because that's the type of player that he is, but something adequate or comparable, or at least can, be productive for sure. For half the money, probably, or 2/3 the money. Yeah.
So they had the Major League Baseball had their draft lottery. Nationals, Angels, and Mariners, Rockies, and Cardinals. What did the Mariners do with their number 3 pick?
It's not like basketball or football, so there is no like consensus pick that you go with. It just depends. A lot of players that you draft in Major League draft or come out of high school. So, I mean, it's always going to be a prospect.
But with the number 3 pick, they can't find King Griffey the third. They can't find Julio, not Francisco Rodriguez the second.
It's quite possible they can, whatever play, but it's not going to be an immediate impact because baseball players don't make immediate impact. It's no less than 3 years before they get to like the top of the minor leagues, unless they are just absolutely phenomenal.
Any idea who's out there for him? What would you do with the number 3 pick? Can you trade it? Does the number 3 pick have value like the NFL or the NBA, where you can trade that pick for a couple prospects?
It doesn't have the same type of value because the prospects are so
young,
much more raw, and young. I mean, I'm not trading up to get a shortstop out of high school. I'm not trading up to get like a first baseman / outfielder.
No, but can they send their 3rd pick to Oh, they're not going to get. Can you send the number 3 pick to the Yankee or to the Dodger for Mookie Betts? Can you send our number 3 our whole draft to the our 1, 3, 5, and 7 to the Dodgers for Mookie Betts? Is that doable? Anybody made that move in baseball? Dave Parker, Dick Allen go to the Hall of Fame. You good with that? Dave Parker is like, but now, like Dave Parker played in the 70s for those Pittsburgh teams. Like, really? What took so long?
Not really a Hall of Famer.
Oh, you don't think he deserved to be in?
I mean, you know,
he was not Dave Winfield, but come on. He played a long career. He was a home run hitter, wasn't he?
I mean, if you just keep asking over and over again, I guess.
No love for Dave Parker and Dick Allen. I don't even know.
I actually like Dave Parker a lot. The Cobra, I mean, incredible arm and like power, like you're talking about, but Hall of Famer.
No,
I don't think so.
I mean, so longevity doesn't get you in baseball.
In baseball, especially, no. I mean, it's all about numbers.
Well, fans, even though Cleveland didn't want to answer a lot of my questions tonight, he tried to give me Jokic over SGA, which is preposterous.
It's 2 elbows, right?
2 elbows on what? Jokic over on what? We got 2 elbows on the Chiefs winning the championship?
Yeah, I that's right. I didn't know if you wanted to throw the Joker SGA on there.
No, we didn't have no 2 elbows on that. What are you talking about?
Okay, man, I will. You know, you're right.
Well, hold on. Wait, see, what did you write down? You wrote it down. What did you write down?
2 shots of ribs. The Chiefs
on what?
The Chiefs will not win the Super Bowl, which is true.
There you go. Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know if you wanted to go SGA for a.
You trying to sneak one? You trying to slip one by me? Is that a little fastball? You trying to sneak by me there?
I didn't know if you wanted to go SGA over Joker for the MVP.
I mean, we already know that's already a done dilly. I mean, I already talked to Adam Silver. That's already.
Oh, so it's SGA.
Yeah, SGA. Yeah.
Okay. So we'll go. Let's say 3 Ivers platters on that one. How you feel about that?
You want to do Ivers platter? We do 8 Ivers platter.
3.
No, we ain't doing 3. Why not? I mean, why 3? Because when I get up there, I want to get me the I got to get me some the super and clam chowders, the clam chowder with the fried clams. So yeah, you can pay for that. I mean, I didn't know that. I didn't realize that was a $25 order. It used to be like a $12 order.
Well, no, I mean, let's clarify here. You know, I'm talking about your chowder,
the chowder, the clams and chips, and a drink.
The fish and chips and a drink. Yeah.
That was a $12 order back in the day. I didn't realize when I went in there the other day, and the dude was like $23.97. I'm like, whoa, what?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
What?
That's why I was trying to be, easy on you about it. That's why I just said 3.
You said 3?
8. Like, hold up, man. I'm not trying
No. In fact, I don't know. Have you been into the Ivers on the pier? Same Ivers we were talking about into the restaurant though. Have you been inside the restaurant for happy hour?
I have been there. Yeah. Before.
For happy hour? You've been there for happy hour? The only thing I don't like that they don't have the fried clams. That's the only thing that's like, how can you not? I can walk right out. Can I go outside and order my clams and bring them inside? No, you can't bring them in. I'm like, that's really what you guys, the best thing you guys got down here. Well, they did. Their happy hour is pretty fire. But the only thing is you can't order the fried clams on the happy hour menu. Like, but the happy hour is still fire. So you want to take me inside for happy hour. You can do that.
So 3 happy hours.
We're not talking 3-0. I don't know what 3-0. Yeah, look at you try to
I'm just saying. The Joker is going to win the MVP of the league.
He will not win the MVP of the league. Not with a 50% record. No.
So 3 happy hour visits.
Sure, let's do it.
3 happy hours. Okay.
I got Joker not winning the MVP.
No. Yeah, you have SGA winning the MVP. I have Joker winning the MVP. If neither one of them wins the MVP, well, then it's a wash.
Fair enough.
3 happy hours.
Okay, done deal. You writing it down? Get your sticky note. Make sure you keep it near the computer so you can be painful. I want you to save up for. You're gonna have to save up for this one too.
No, I will not. 32, 13, and 10. Yeah, no.
You're gonna have to save up for this one.
32, 13, and 10. No, I will not have to save a dime.
You're gonna have to save up for this one. Fans, I want to thank you guys for tuning in to the Voice of the Fans podcast. Let's
32, 13, and 10.
What is their record again? Did you ever mention their record? I'm not sure you.
Nope, I don't have to mention records when people come out 7-footers and go 32, 13, and 10. There's absolutely no need to do that.
Okay, fans, you guys hear this guy. Well, I want to thank you guys again. Give yourselves a round of applause for sticking with us. If you stick with us this long, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, fans. It helps us out in the algorithm. Let us know in the chat where you tuning in from. How are you listening to the show? Where you at? Where you listen to the show from? We appreciate it. Where you tuning in from? Let us know where we can catch you at. Thank you guys for tuning in. The quote I want to share with you guys tonight. We play the numbers game at the beginning of the show. Who wore their jersey number the best, or who come to your mind first? We play that game at the beginning of the show. We this week in history segment was interrupted by my rundown of the Warriors losing to the Houston Rockets. But tonight, the quote I want to share with you guys is, "I can change the direction of the wind. I can't change the direction of the wind, but I can adjust my sails to reach my destination." One more time. I can't change the direction of the wind, but I can adjust my sails to always reach my destination. From Mr. Jimmy Dean. And I take that to say, you kind of got to go with the flow, but adjust accordingly. And make the adjustment that you need to make in your life and in your pathway to achieve your goals. That's how I take that. Because life is going to throw you some curveballs, fans. I can tell you that, man. From you've been on this world any length of time, you're going to get some curveballs thrown your way. But you have to be able to adjust and pivot accordingly, Cleveland, to achieve your goals, reach your destination. So that's what I want to share with you guys today through this holiday season. Keep this in mind. Give your loved ones a hug. Kiss your loved ones. Just to let them know you text them, give them a phone call, let them know you're thinking about them, because you don't know when you won't have that opportunity to do it again. That's very important. Also, fans, Cleveland, let's give Cleveland one more round of applause for being with us tonight. If you hung with us this long, fans, do me a favor and please hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and in the chat, let us know where you tune in from. And as always, fans, thank you for making our voice your choice.